Welcome back, my friendly friends. Whoa. Okay. So, this is a lot more like Reverie than I thought it was going to be. Substitute Spriggans? So that's what the proposal was. Okay, at the end of, we just got done with the overture, and I thought that he was going to ask them to come with him. But no, clearly he asked them Act 1A. Let's see what's going on with this. Interesting. So, this game is basically a Reverie remake? Alright, well, whatever. February 27th, 9:45 a.m.
Damn it! Who the hell are these kids? They just won't let up!
Well,
give it up already.
You might want to listen to him. There's no throwing us off the scent.
It's like I told you before! I would never scam a soul, I swear!
you sure?
Oh, you don't need to act dumb. The fact that you're even trying means you already are.
What else do you expect from a third-rate crook? You left so much glaring evidence behind that we stopped bothering to collect it all partway through.
Jeez.
Snot-nosed little... I'll show you third-rate!
Whoa!
That adds attempted assault to your charges. Feel like digging this hole any deeper?
It's too late to backpedal now that you've put your true colors on blast.
Okay, fine! I'll admit it! But hear me out! I've got a proposition!
What does he think
Let
this
me
is?
go free, and I'll give you half of my take! What do you say to that? And besides, what's wrong with pulling one over on some lousy ex-convict anyway? They deserved it!
Who won't let up now? How long their rap sheet is makes no difference. Fraud is fraud.
Wow.
Don't get me wrong. I could go for the extra pocket change, but it wouldn't be any fun to play with dirty money.
Oh, brainless brats! What are you planning to do with me then? Hand me over to the cops? Or the guild, maybe? Try it! And the bastard who put you up to this is gonna be in for a world of hurt!
Why does he
Once a scumbag, always a scumbag! No matter how reformed they are! You really expect them to live the life of a normal person? Not in a million years!
Why does he think that?
Once a scumbag, always a scumbag. I guess we can't argue with that.
Oh, that hurt.
Yeah. Run as you might, the past has a way of catching up to you.
But the second someone tries to accept it and move on anyway, you think it's cool to talk smack about them? That kinda ticks me off.
Turning over a new leaf takes commitment. If you want to spit on that, we're not going to let it slide.
Just stay away!
As if we turn you into the guild or police. Those namby-pambies would let you off way easy.
You took things outside the law, and they'll stay there. We know plenty of other discreet ways to do a petty criminal in.
Jeez.
What's with you two? Why would you side with them, of all people? I even held back on making a move until that meddling Spriggan left town!
That's where you went wrong. You took a stupid chance based on some half-baked intel.
I mean, yeah, the guy you're talking about is out of the capital. But that's why he's having us fill in for him.
Substitutes?
We're what you might call substitute Spriggans.
Right. That's actually pretty cool. 5 days earlier. So I'm assuming right now, 5 days earlier, whatever Van is up to is probably well underway in Act 1A. Substitute Spriggans? Us? Temporarily, yeah. What do you think? I think some advance notice would have been nice. What would we have to do exactly? It's just like it sounds. You'd be acting as my proxies. So how will this affect our LGC alignment then? Would the choices we make here affect Van's alignment for some reason? That means taking on any 4SPG requests that crop up while I'm out of town. Okay, well this at least addresses an issue that I was talking about earlier. It's like everybody's always posting 4SPGs as if Van is around in their neck of the woods all the time. This office here would be yours to use as a base of operations. I'll even hook you up with some contacts of mine that you might find handy. Sounds like a pretty good deal, actually. Think of 4SPGs as a way to get the lay of the land, make connections, and gather intel. Heck, they might even help you pick up some dirt on whatever it is you're looking for. That's how I'd approach it anyway. So that's what you meant by substitute Spriggans. It does make sense. Yeah, I considered doing the whole part-time assistant thing again, but with how long I'll be gone, this felt like the better option. Plus, with them taking care of the place, you won't have to bother. You guys can handle it just fine, right? They're more than capable. We've got a lifetime of experience to fall back on, so the requests themselves won't be a problem. But are you sure it's okay for us to be playing Spriggan? I mean, don't you guys have some special style of doing things? To an extent. You don't have to take on every 4SPG, and once you do, there's no hard and fast rules on how to get it done. Those parts will be 100% up to you guys. That said, whatever you end up doing, just make sure it's something you can live with. At the end of the day, that's all our style really boils down to, and I always follow it as best I can. I see. Van? Well, I'm sold. We'll take you up on your offer. Alright, such good sports. It's kind of interesting because I guess they've upgraded. Instead of being the supporters on their particular route, they're now the main players. Starting today, we're your new substitute Spriggans. Since you're both still finding your footing in Edith, I'll lend you as much support as I can. You've got school to worry about. I'll keep it within reason, just enough so that it doesn't interfere with my studies. Hey, it's your education. For what it's worth, we'd appreciate the help. Yeah, you can show us the ropes, Aggie. Of course, I'd be more than happy to. We'll hash things out in more detail tomorrow, but I guess this means that the cast, well, like I've been anticipating, because we've all played Falcom games before, the cast is gonna get to exploding. In the meantime, there's a free room upstairs. Should be fine for you to crash there a while. The man running the bistro downstairs is the landlord, right? We'll ask if he's okay with it. Either way, it'll take a day for us to head back to the inn and get our luggage together. Guess that makes this TTFN. See you tomorrow. I'm not sure what TTFN is supposed to mean. Ta-ta for now. Okay. Whew. And I thought yesterday was busy. There sure has been a lot going on lately. It feels like last year all over again. Actually, it feels like the year before that to me, but... yeah, well, personally, I don't miss having to dig my way out of mortal peril every 5 seconds. Right. But don't get too comfy with that, Van. The only digging I want to do right now is into that creamy cocoa pudding I've been saving. Oh, Nadia probably wasn't kidding about getting into that. He can pretend otherwise, but I know Van would be the first of us to jump headlong into danger. My pudding! Van? It's gone! Oh, tell me this isn't happening! Wait, what's with this note? Thanks for the pudding! It was delish! Nadia. So she wasn't messing around? That little sneak actually ate the damn thing! And it was only available for a limited time! I'm going to miss him while he's away. Van is very fun. But at least things won't be boring around here. They never are with Mr. 3 and Miss 9 around. Back in the present, or was it Miss 3 and Mr. 9?
I was starting to think I'd never catch up.
Jeez, Yes, you gotta hit the cardio more, girl.
Oh, there you are, Aggie. We just nabbed us a sleazy shark.
Already? That must be some kind of record.
Oh, well, we have no idea how long Aaron was up. Aaron was at it on his probationary period, but I guess it was longer than this.
Although probably shouldn't celebrate quite yet.
Cough up the Mira.
Jeez. Hitting this man with the real deal shakedown.
But I already gave back everything I took!
To who? Who is this they they've been talking about?
Oh, we're not talking about that, silly. You still have a compensation tax to settle.
What?
Just because you made things even doesn't mean you made them right. Now get to it before you wind up a human pincushion.
Jeez.
Should I start with the right side or the left? Choices, choices. Actually, why don't I let you pick? See? Aren't I just the sweetest?
Jeez, the intimidation is unreal.
Stop! Stop! Whatever you want, I'll pay it. Just please don't kill me.
Makes you wonder who the bad guy is in this scenario.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. We're really putting the screws to him. But you know what? All is well that ends well. We do operate in that gray area. Act 1B, Substitute Spriggans. Alright, the client got their mirror back, with interest. That's one more request in the bag. Another job well done, you two. I know the plan was for me to walk you through Edith and some 4 SPGs. This is very Class 7, a bunch of teenagers making sure the town doesn't fall apart. But it turns out she never needed it. I suppose there wasn't much point in me tagging along. I wouldn't say that at all. With you around, I only have to make half as many snappy retorts at Nadia, and that's priceless. Oh, so that's what you meant. You helped with plenty of other things too. Take that con man. We wouldn't have caught him half as fast if you hadn't picked up on him. Yep, it was a total cakewalk thanks to you, Aggie. Really? That makes me feel a bit better. She's been at the Spriggan thing for longer than they have. She's their senpai. She might actually, well, no, considering, is Nadia taller than Anya's? Okay, I guess she might not specifically be their senpai age-wise, but definitely as a Spriggan. It's kind of rough that they're probably roughly the same height, but if you take the hat off, I might actually have to give it to Nadia. They've both grown a lot, but you know, we can take it from here for today. You still have prep work to do for the festival, right? Yeah, go get on that. The two of us have this down pat. Well, if you're absolutely sure, I'll come back later tonight to bring you some snacks. You really don't have to put yourself out for us. Not that we'd ever say no to free eats. Anyway, have fun at school. She did all of this before school? She's dedicated. Whew, finally! Little Miss Chaperone has left the building. Now I can spend my whole day slacking off. And that differs from any other day, how? Well, for one thing, I won't have Aggie giving me grief for bumming around. Ever consider not bumming around? Oh, if they thought Agnes was bad. Wait, was she's not aware? Okay, she was in the splash for 1B.
Odd.
It is odd, isn't it? Van should be here.
Sorry, nobody's home. Arkwright Solutions is on extended vacation.
Well, that's incredibly suspicious.
Hardly convincing.
Right.
You're that bracer.
What part of vacation did you not get?
Well, no rest for the wicked, Nadia.
If you're looking for Van, he's still out of town on business.
Oh, I'm well aware. He's filled me in on the whole situation, including the two of you.
Aw, I'm sure that conversation was very funny, but her coming here not knowing would have been even funnier.
Temporary arrangements aside, I shouldn't have to tell you that Spriggans don't take vacations.
She's gonna have to whip these two into shape.
You heard the woman.
Aw, and after we just got rid of Aggie, too. So long, Easy Street. It was nice knowing you.
Well, what does she have? So, what brings Beauty's blade here? I could understand it if Van were around. This has nothing to do with him. Rather, I have a request to make of you in particular. Oh, she needs their expertise? Nadia is so done. Us specifically? Are you subcontracting the way people do with Van? Not quite. Technically, this would be more of a collaborative effort. I'd like your assistance with a case I'm working on. Why? Now I'm even more confused. What kind of help can we offer one of the guild's top bracers? Let me explain. Edith's Orbital network is currently experiencing minor delays and interruptions, an issue that's becoming more and more frequent. We dealt with this last game too. They aren't quite frequent enough to constitute a major problem just yet, but something similar occurred last year in Basel, and it turned out to be far more severe than initially assumed. With that in mind, we can't afford to leave this matter be. I'm not too caught up on that incident in Basel, but wasn't Almada the one behind it? Yes, of course I realize it's unlikely that this is anywhere close to that scale. But that doesn't mean some other criminal isn't employing a similar method. More Almada copycats? They've got little brothers running around everywhere. So this is a troubleshooting job. Wouldn't someone else out there be a better fit for this sort of thing? Heck, there's a famous super hacker here in Edith who's been in the game since the Orbital Net was born. Which was like, what? 4 years ago? And now we've got virtual reality .hack nonsense going on. Well, that's a party screen splash art if I've ever seen it. Ren ducked and dodged being on the team all last game, but we'll see how well her luck holds out. The girl you're referring to is otherwise engaged. In fact, it was she who directed me to you. So, already passed the buck before Nadia had the chance to pass it to her. That explains it. Jeez, Ren, throw us under the bus much? So how about it? Is this 4SPG to your liking? Better reschedule your slacking appointment, Nadia. Fine, whatever. I'm a big girl, I can do stuff when I have to. And hey, we might find a clue about the you-know-what we're looking for along the way. You-know-what? It's settled then. Arkwright Solutions Substitute Spriggans are on the case. Looking forward to working with you, Elaine. The pleasure's all mine. Well, no time to waste. Mind filling us in on what you know so far? Unfortunately, there isn't much to go on yet. A Communications Bureau representative did send us a statistical report on the network failures, however. Would this have been Maribel or perhaps Rosette? Well, none of them are involved. Communications Bureau. This would have been someone in the Edith brass, so if you don't mind giving me your contact info, I can forward it to your Zyphas. Sure thing. Yeah, I'm down. So what do we got?
Contact information exchanged. Data transmitted and synchronized.
Having your Nothing about these numbers struck me as conspicuous. I don't see any obvious patterns either, so that's why she needed a data analyst. All I can really glean is that the occurrences are limited to inside the capital. We could probably figure something out if we had a larger sample size. You're not wrong, but these service problems are just infrequent enough to keep us in the dark. Indeed, which gives us every reason to believe they're being done deliberately. Yeah, something definitely feels off about this. We just dealt with some Orbital network trouble ourselves a little bit ago. Well, he wouldn't say a little bit if he was referring to the last time they showed up. You mean in the Merhian Garten? I'd say it's less dealt with and more still dealing with. Maybe I'm off the mark, but do you think it's related? The Merhian Garten. Renee, that is, Kincaid from the CID, told me about it. Whether or not it has any bearing to this case, however, may be difficult to determine. Well, I'm sure once we get down to the bottom of this, we'll be able to have more information to work off of. Don't quote me on this, but I'd say the probability is pretty slim. On what basis? The Marian Garten's got a wide service area with coverage across both Calvert and Orid State. But only the capital's having issues, leaving us with a bunch of pieces that don't fit. I don't know if anything's changed now that the signal's been hijacked. But the Garten's original main server is probably in Orid, where Marduk's headquarters is. So these people are specifically trying to stay off of Marduk's radar? No. That doesn't make any sense. Marduk is the one who looped us in on this. But why is Orid not having these? Oh, Orid not having these issues means it's not related to the Marian Garten. In which case, it would make sense for Edith to be affected before Orid. Pretty much, yeah. If you ask me, we're dealing with something totally different here. I see. Your reasoning is sound. Say we narrowed our search down to Edith. What locations would you find suspect? Well, going by the data, the delays and interruptions are popping up all willy-nilly. It's almost like someone doesn't want us to dig deeper, so they're randomizing the values to throw us off track. Meaning? What exactly? If the location and frequency of these outages are being manually controlled over the whole city, then we should be able to narrow down the source of the interference. Maybe by triangulating it? Now I get it. There are only so many places in Edith that could emit an orbital signal that's strong. Which leaves Trion Tower as our most likely candidate. Another place we never visited in the last game. That's normally how these things shake out. You visit a bunch of areas in the first game and then specifically visit areas you didn't go to in the second. Well, Crossbell wasn't really big enough for that, but they still managed it for the most part. And with that, we have our destination. You know, I've got a funny feeling that this was all just one big test. But yeah, I guess you're all set now. Happy trails! Hope it all goes well. You're not getting off that easily. So she was testing them. Okay, I didn't even realize. Aww. The two of you are exactly as Fee described. Fee told you about us? She was one of the dozens of people who got to know you very well. Oh yeah, I heard she was in Edith for a little while. For months. What did she say? In brief, that you were very capable for your age, at which she would know. And that your dynamic never failed to warm her heart. Capable, I get, but where'd that second part come from? You guys are pretty fun. You definitely brought a lot of energy to the place. Just what kind of impression did we leave on those guys? Aw, what are you getting all huffy about? I don't think she meant it in a bad way. It sounded more to me like she was calling us a perfect pair. You're entitled to that opinion. Still, it works. You and me do make a perfect pair of partners. Guess we'll have to buckle down and prove her right. That's one interpretation. Not the one I would have gone for, though. Yeah, reminds you of some people. I can't help but be reminded of how we were back in the day. Van would always try to worm his way out of things, and I'd have to be the one to drag him along. Something on your mind? Not at all. Now, let's head over to Trion Tower in the 3rd District. Fine. Off we go then. I do want to, hopefully, I want to make another Septium Vein. I want to make as many Septium Veins as possible because it would add up over the course of the game. I think that was my major failing. Before we leave, you did remember to bring it, right? You mean the thing Aggie gave me? Yeah, I've got it. Are we going to also be able to use the R3 button tracker thing? Whose name I've forgotten? She left the Genesis with us? And they're called... Okay, I was so sad. The Octogenesis are such a cool name. They get said exactly once in the prologue, and they're never referred to like that again afterwards. I'm not really sure what's going on with that, but it's good to see them back again after basically an entire game. The Octogenesis. 8 devices left behind by Professor Epstein. Plus a sentient hollow and the Grendel. Almost sounds like a fairy tale. I wish, but they're all too real. And now we've got one more in the mix. One that doesn't look like the others. That dark red Grendel. It was so sinister looking. almost like a beast. Maybe you've got a long-lost brother, Van. I seriously doubt it. Van would have a... Well, we'll save that for when it comes up. It's a real threat, that's for sure. My gut keeps saying it's something that shouldn't exist. There's been a lot of that lately, huh? Yeah. And then there's the way things got all paranormal on me. So he does remember all that, and rewatching it when I was editing it, it seems like Elaine was also having a case of deathly deja vu. That's what her look off to the side was. What do you mean? It's hard to describe. Not to mention my memory's a little hazy. Hard to remember things when you were dead. Can't say how, but I'd wager it has something to do with the Genesis. You two just be careful while you're out there, okay? No promises, but sure. We'll keep our eyes peeled for any ghosties and ghoulies. Hey, I'm being serious here. Nadia? Swin? You should take this with you. She's leaving them her Genesis! Her own Genesis! Wow! A Genesis? She quite literally just met these people. But this was your great-grandpa's. It's yours to remember him by. Are you sure you'd feel okay leaving it with us? Between my studies and the school festival, my schedule is a lot busier than usual. So I'm not sure how often I'll be around to help out. It's more for peace of mind, really, but think of this as a good luck charm of sorts. Right, it brought us so much good luck last year. You did say these things have triggered strange phenomena before. Alright, we'll hang on to it. So I guess Van won't be taking the Grendel at all in Act 1A. We promise to take extra good care of it. I want you to have one too, Van. I don't remember which one this was. I'm gonna take a stab and say this was the one we got during Chapter 1? We don't even know if they'll react without you around. I mean, it's gonna have to, I guess. If she's giving one to Van, it means he does use the Grendel. But if it makes you feel better, then why not? Might as well, seeing as the 8th Genesis is still out there somewhere. So, we're now handing these out. Don't worry, I put it inside Marquee Bear Mark II for safekeeping. Maybe now we'll get to run into something paranormal ourselves. I sure hope not. So, let's see. There's probably going to be a bunch of... Well, now we won't have to guess. It'll tell us when there's something new we can buy. We have a bit of time to spare. Is there anywhere you'd like to go beforehand? So, in the previous game, something I quite literally never did, when you visit the bathhouses outside of required events, then it counts towards your EX achievements. I was not doing that. So we're gonna go ahead and see about doing it now, and also checking out the movies. Now that you mention it, there are probably some new 4SPGs posted. We can just put those off until later though. On the contrary, it'd be best to take care of them sooner rather than later. This is going to be a much bigger job. I'd even be willing to lend a hand. You would? I thought Spriggan business was below you A-rank bracers. Propriety aside, my involvement will speed up the process. And while I know it isn't the same as if Van were here, I would like to take this opportunity to see a Spriggans day-to-day myself. Well, if you're sure it's fine, we could use the help. Better yet, you could go solo and get a hands-on look. If you need me, I'll be taking a nap upstairs. Nice try. You're no fun today. She's definitely persistent, I'll give her that. At any rate, I'll leave the particulars of our agenda up to you two. Anything urgent we had should be wrapped up by now. So the guild's request can take top priority. If there's room for a few more, that's fine too. Alrighty, let's get cracking! Well, tactics. Press right to open tactics from the menu. I never use these. Party formation. Adjust party position, character equipment, and orbits from the party formation menu. If an ally is on a different route, don't worry, you can still exchange accessories and quartz with them if necessary. Cool. So we can gut the crap out of anyone who we don't actively have. Yep. Look at it. So red. So pretty.
Monmar is so relaxing.
And what is up here? Check. So we'll be using this place as our base of operations for the time being. We can access the Merihian Garten from the terminal, right? Oh, okay. I guess, but you know, it'd probably be more fun if we used the one in that Marduk lady's room. Renee was involved with the Merihian Garten as well. In that case, I should take a look myself. Office desk. You can do many things from the desk at Arkwright Solutions. We have to access the Garten. All right. Ooh. So gamey. Hey guys! Jumping right into the Merihian Garten, huh? Well, Van does expect us to fill in for him. Are we gonna be able to tackle the second floor? It sounds like you were waiting for us, though. Did something come up? Yeah, actually. See, we finished analyzing those shard tokens you guys found in your last expedition. They were at the forefront of my mind and I instantly forgot about them. It turns out that they have a function that can parse and restore some of the data losses the Garten's going through right now. Oh, we can use that to buy info? Hold on a minute. That was a bit too much, too fast. Let me dumb it down a little. The more tokens you collect, the more we can analyze the resources the Garten took in. Plus, it'll net you a whole bunch of rewards that can be used in both the virtual and real worlds. Is this gonna be another gotcha? So no reason not to try it out, right? I mean, I already added the feature to Mare for you. You really know how to plan ahead. I think I get the gist of it now, though. Guess we might as well take a stab at it. Huh. Recovery via level up. Yeah, about Mystic Cube analysis. The shard tokens found during your previous expedition are items that can be used in Mystic Cube analysis. The more you analyze the Mystic Cube, the wider the variety of items you can obtain. Select Mystic Cube and try it for yourself. So this is why we can, so that even people on different routes can still come into the Merihian Garten.
Looks like you've gathered some tokens, huh?
Mystic Cubes. Use the S tokens you obtain to analyze Mystic Cubes. By analyzing Mystic Cubes, you can obtain Sepith or a variety of other items. It's another gotcha. Falcom, why? Okay. Clearly I'm in the minority here, but all these gotcha games, dude, they're so not for me. But not having to spend real life actual money is always nice. Use a support item. Earth Sepith, Water Sepith. So we can get...
Here I go. Beginning analysis.
Mystic Cube analysis. Hold the X button to analyze a Mystic Cube. Mystic Cubes have a chance of turning into a rare cube during analysis. The rarer the cube, the more Sepith and items you stand to gain. And of course, it's also more likely that unique items will appear. So it's not a passive system, it's one with some skill involvement. Oh, whoops. No, there is no skill involvement. We just hold it.
Not done yet.
Whoa.
There you have it.
So we just use as many as possible?
Card detected. On to the next.
On yes, towel data.
Target analyzed. On to the next.
We got a lot of these though, don't we? Oh, I guess the more S tokens we use at a singular time. So hoarding all of these and then using them all at once is for the best?
Analyze. On to the next. Have it.
So there's a random chance. Whoa, all right.
To the next.
Holy crap. On yes, United hair data. But this is going to take a while. So, yeah. Insufficient shard tokens. But so when we do finish analyzing it, we've got to...
Some more tokens.
We're gonna have a pretty good time.
Pretty darn good.
Ooh. So, this is going to be incredibly useful. I'm still gonna make those Septium Banes, but check that out. And this was just after running the first floor. We did do some grinding, but so many accessories. What the heck is on Yes's 4SPG United attire? I'll give Falcom this. They definitely don't hide all the costumes behind DLC. I'm actually not even sure what kind of... I know there's got to be plenty of DLC data, DLC stuff for this, but... Alright. Looks like the analysis went off without a hitch. Oh, I almost forgot. I've got some good news for you guys. We found out you can use your shard tokens and your Xiphas to beef up your individual crafts. Wait, what? We can independently modify our crafts? This is the first time that's happened outside of level ups. We've developed a program for augmenting them. You're free to use it anytime you like. Wow. It would have been nice that, well, I guess they didn't tell us this before we used all our shard tokens for the gotcha mechanic, so we wouldn't feel guilty about it or try to hoard them or anything. Wow, those guys never cease to impress. I wonder, is this going to be stuff like adding a fire element attribute to Heavenly Halter or something? So this new discovery of theirs can increase our capabilities here in virtual reality? Maybe. I guess it can be made possible through combat orbment synchronization. Yeah, through shards, everything is possible. There's only one way to know for sure, though. Let's put it to the test. Okay. About enhancing crafts. The skill stones you obtained a moment ago can be used to increase the power and efficacy of your character's crafts. Okay, and as a bonus, that's what skill stones are for. Can we pump up our S crafts? Any craft can be selected for enhancement, so you're free to improve your characters whatever way you like. Yeah, we're just gonna dump everything into our S crafts. Vandalize raid. Don't mind if we do. Power 311, turn delay. Oh, so, and we do get a second S craft. Cause like, I don't use anything else.
Powered up.
And it's maxed out. Level 20. Oh, we asked that level 25 for the second rank of these, then level 50. But yep, we're not gonna use the skill stones for anything else. There's no reason to. I don't use the other. Oh, Jabril Guard. I'm not gonna lie. We're probably. I spoke a little too soon. Brilliant Halo. Ooh. Ooh. Falcom, you sly devils. Yeah, I actually like that a lot.
For an upgrade.
She has 5 skill stones. Party HP CP recovery. And that cost is outrageous. 365 stun damage, turn delay time. 78 on the cost. This is actually extremely cool. I like this a lot. Gonna be sad to see it go when we go back to FC, because I doubt they'll input this stuff here. But, and everybody, it looks like, has their own bonuses. No, everything is HP max plus whatever, and then, all right. But yes.
Let's polish this up.
Cross Cipher. We'll wait till we have a full 5. But, alright. Most excellent. Whoopsie, almost forgot one teensy detail. Even more goodies? Yes, let us know. I also made it so that you can find shard tokens and portals via shard search. So give that a try too, okay? Okay, so this is gonna be a reason to spam shard. Wait, portals? What are portals? portals. I don't think I'm familiar with those. And aren't shard tokens supposed to be something we collect in virtual reality? Yeah, about that. We don't know if it's a bug with the Garten or whatever, but they've been showing up as data fragments in the real world too. They can be used in the Garten just fine, so it'd be super cool if you guys could gather them out here too. I'm more than a little concerned about this. Hopefully there's going to be some sort of tell so we just don't inch our way along spamming R3. Tell me about it. Like, real talk, we don't entirely know what's going on here either. As for the portals, there are these things called nodes around Edith where the orbital waves are mega concentrated. Our tech lets you reconfigure these hotspots into virtual routers made out of shards. Through shards, anything is possible. Once you have one up and running, it can be used to get easy access to the Merihian Garten. No dedicated terminal required. Seeing is believing though, so I just sent you some info on a portal compatible location nearby. So we're basically able to jack into the Merihian Garten. Just turn on your shard search and have a look around. I'm still wrapping my head around this, but message received. We'll try it out when we get the chance. There's a lot of really interesting, fun stuff going on here. I don't know why people were saying this game was controversial. This is awesome. Shard tokens and portals can now be detected via shard search. Shard tokens. Shard search can help you find any shard tokens, S tokens, that are hidden in the environment. They might appear as an AT bonus or battles in the Merihian Garten. Shard search can also help unveil access portals to the Merihian Garten. Well, that's pretty cool. And that is not what I was expecting when we went upstairs.
Oh, what would you like?
Melt in your mouth stew. Don't mind if we do.
Do your best out there.
And okay, he's selling the same stuff.
Quit dawdling and buy something.
Tyrell ×2 and some yellow candy.
Out of trouble now.
And Stanley.
Thank you all for stopping
So
by.
they've got new stuff.
Ask me anything. Really?
Orbment shop. The below options are available at certain orbment related shops. Certain orbment shops have the following functions. Oh, they messed up the capitalization there. But you know what? There's more text in these games than two Bibles put together, so it's all good. You can create quartz from Sepith at shops with a factory function. You can modify orbments and spend Sepith to unlock slots at factories within shops. Alright, so that's why we can get 10 slots. Wait, what? Oh, man. But that's why we can get so much free Sepith, because we have a lot more than 8 characters to unlock this game. Alright. Yes, let's get our money up. Quartz. Now, what about synthesizing? Custom.
Come again, if you want.
Allow me to assist.
Iron rank, sure. Okay, yeah. We can't exchange for interesting.
Hope to see you again. Allow me to assist.
Bargain bin. Beast flesh, vitality droplet. We're not interested in that.
Hope to see you again.
But what we want... Oh, new because of all these. Where can we go?
See you later,
I wonder if is that
anything.
functionality available yet?
See you later.
If it were, it'd be here,
Allow me to
right?
assist. Hope to see you again. Allow me to assist.
Sell,
Hope to
exchange.
see you again. Allow me to assist.
I just wanted to make sure that there's nothing that shows as new for us here, so we'll know exactly when there's new stuff. Okay. Oh, this is sell. Oh my gosh, I almost made a horrible mistake.
Hope to see you again.
How do we... Okay, well I guess we might not be able to do it just yet. That's disappointing. I'm gonna have to take Septium Vein off of Van then, in order to put it on these
What would
guys.
you like?
Okay, I'm like, what does she have that's new? Who is...
I see you're working hard as always. Looking is always free, you know.
And then all of this stuff. Let's get 10 assorted grains. But nobody's got
Come
any...
see us again sometime.
Interesting. So we'll definitely check out what our 4 SPGs are looking like first. And then we'll go upstairs. There's a 4 SPG. We've received reports of a large, dangerous monster in the area. Location, Dierk Memorial Park. Monster, Gashoskal Abyss. Okay, so I guess, because normally what would happen is we get called by Renee to do these.
Yep,
In fact...
there it is. A new 4SPG.
Let's just act like we never saw it.
I'm afraid you aren't getting out of this that easily.
And with a devilish smile lacing her lips, she burdened the poor, hapless Nana with work.
Actually, can we still, how do we access the...
Accessing your schedule.
Okay, we can still do it. All right, I guess we're still acting as Van in this capacity.
I appreciate it.
50! That's a way bigger bonus than we were getting from items in the previous game. Oh, okay, shard search. So it is on the thing. So we found ourselves a portal. Hey, you found the portal! Wasn't too painful, right? Well, now we know what they look like. I don't even know where to begin with this. No one aside from us can see these, correct? It's a virtual router, so probably not. Kinda gives off more AR vibes than VR, though. Ooh, someone's in the know. You're right, this tech is an example of augmented reality. With it, you can find more spots like these in a handful of places around Edith and convert them into portals. But there's more. Now that it's all prepped to go, Marduk support is finally ready for launch. Even more good stuff. Yeah, all the stuff about this being controversial, I really don't get. Maybe there are people who just prefer a much more straightforward narrative, but I don't think that's really been the case for Falcom. What's Marduk support? Just a little virtual service we're offering to help with things besides clearing floors in the Garten. Take a peek next time you go online, Kay. Sure. Can we still only access the first floor? The Marduk support menu can now be accessed via the square button.
Hey, I've been waiting for you.
Well, CP supply service, we can... CP plus 50 for all... Oh, this is the Reverie Garden all over again, basically. Insufficient Marduk points for enhancement. How do we get more Marduk points? All members CP will increase by 50. Orban shops.
Let me know if you need anything, okay?
How do we get Marduk points? Oh, we've got the data for it. Okay, it's not that easy then. We don't just get the items, we get the privilege of being able to convert that data, which makes sense. This is a virtual space.
Thanks a bundle.
Repair data.
Let me know if you need anything, okay?
So we need Mira to purchase this stuff? Holy crap, there's a lot here. And we can purchase the BGM. There's a sound test in these games? I can't remember the last time we've gotten anything like that. We need 3 different sets of this data in order to... Okay, I get that. Definitely not going to worry about any of that, though.
We've got the good stuff.
Can we make...
Appreciate your business. We've got the good stuff.
So the customize menu... we don't have that much money, but... Might as well go all out for everybody, since we can use them here. Defender Beta, for you. Let's make sure the Mirage... Alright, this isn't a straight upgrade for anybody, and we're just worried about straight upgrades. Everybody else is gonna get... Well, maybe not. I don't want to go through all of my... Yeah, see? craft vest, and this one is for male party members only. This one for female party members only. And the gendered equipment is better, so yeah. Make sure we can take hits a bit better. And it didn't even break the bank like I was worried it was gonna. Craft shoes. And just like before, the gendered equipment is better. Like, I became very accustomed to the increased movement that we had. But we were not able to maneuver very well at all. So let's customize. Yes, further amp our capabilities. Beast Killers and Ensemble Plus. Are those not... Okay, I guess they're not available for purchase.
Appreciate your business.
Orbment settings.
We've got the good stuff.
Mistral, sure, let's... Oh, Mistral! This is a blast from the past. This is, Eustace's starting, Master Quartz. But now it's an arts driver. And we can buy a lot more plugins. Normally I'd be like, let's just buy them all, but we're gonna have to be... We're not gonna buy ones I know we're never going to use. We need breath for right now. Ooh, I need to sell something to get La Forte. What?
Appreciate your business.
Item shop. There was a sell option somewhere.
We've got the good. Thanks a bundle. We've got the
There
good
we go.
stuff.
We'll sell off. We'll sell off one of these. There we go. Now we can go back
Let me know if you need anything, okay?
and get that La Forte. Absolutely non-negotiably need that. And La Crest would be good too, but my battle style is a
Appreciate
lot
your
more
business.
offense-oriented. Now, what's activity support? Hacking trials. 50 Marduk points. Sure, let's get it.
Access granted. I'm going in.
All right, initializing. Oh, that's pretty easy.
Kid stuff. No.
This is even easier than the first one. Oh, there's a second section. Wait, how are we supposed to... Okay. So,
That's a good law. Now do me a snow sweat.
check. So this one's going to be a bit more...
That's a good law.
Holy crap.
Do me a solid and open up. I'd
All
like
right.
security.
No worries. 1 minute left. What is that? Oh, check that out.
This is kid stuff. No sweat.
But I guess that's not... I guess that was just a checkpoint. Hacking checkpoints. If you are discovered by any defense units after reaching a checkpoint, you will restart from the checkpoint's location. Alright, so this is a lot more involved than I thought it was going to be. Whoo!
I'm
Alright.
not done yet.
Well, I guess that's one way to tutorialize that. Ugh! Huh. Alright. Let's go ahead and get through this way.
Now do me a solid and open up.
Jeez. Alright, only 30 seconds left, so hopefully there's not too much more to this. There it is. Let's get the heck out of here.
I've got control of the system.
Alright, 50 Marduk points, all ours.
Welcome to Marduk support.
Now we can go to 150. Sure, let's do the intermediate one. If we can KO all three of these, there's no reason not to, right? 2 minutes, 40 seconds. Uh-oh, this might be a lot. Yeah. What's this? Install hacking traps. Occasionally, you'll have the opportunity to set traps for the defense units. These traps will temporarily incapacitate them. Interesting. We still got effed up. Okay. We lost a lot of time here, not gonna lie. Ugh. Huh. Huh. Let's get it. Yeah, over 30 seconds just dealing with this BS. Alright. It's all good. Now a checkpoint. Not too shabby, not too shabby. God dang it.
I'm not done yet.
I am completely disoriented. So I'm assuming we have to set a trap for this thing. No, we don't. We just have to wait it out. But jeez.
That's a good lock.
And there's a second one right after. But these aren't that difficult. In fact, I would say they're not difficult even the slightest. How the heck are we? Okay, so we have to go all the way. Whoa! Oh, okay. I have to look at the map more. You have to circle all the way around. Wait, what? Oh, okay, I'm like, how the heck? But all right. It's just a matter of timing.
That's a good lock. Now do me a solid and open up.
All right. So the hacking minigame, it's definitely I definitely do like it more than the other ones we've seen. Oh, that's it?
I made it.
Neat.
This thing's as good as unlocked.
150 Marduk points. So, you guys already know what time it is. Let's get this all set. 3-star difficulty. No problem for us. We're master hackers. Get this done. That hand-eye coordination. Decades of honing it, baby.
Oh,
crap.
I'll be more careful this time.
3 minutes. But the last one only oh, okay. We're behind it now, though. Is it just me, or is that thing moving a lot faster?
This is kid stuff.
There we go.
Sweat.
1 checkpoint gotten. Now,
No,
crap. If it's touching that at all, we're hosed. Okay. One of these. Now, which way is it gonna move? Come on! There we go. Even if we're hacking, it gets us? That's new information. All right. So we have to be super speedy if we want to get through this. Speed running this game must be a trip and a half.
This is kid stuff. Now I've done it. I'll be more
All right,
careful
that's
this
fine.
time.
We still open the thing up, so we'll have to wait for it to go past. But we got the lock. But yeah, speedrunning this probably requires a deft touch. Not that I'm ever going to be doing that. So let's start this away. Oh, that's the good... Okay, well, we made the right choice. Now we just have to hope the other one doesn't double back fast enough. Oh!
I've done it. I'll be more careful this time.
All right. These things are speeding. Okay, as long as we're behind it, we should be good. And in we go. All right. Now we can hack to our heart's content.
No sweat.
1 more checkpoint. Hopefully that's the last. Nope, not getting us. Aha! We're wise to your tricks now. Oh, it's one of these. Okay, we wait for it to go past. Now sprint. There we go. Uh-oh. Forcing us to stop and wait. I see. And there's another. Okay, this should. Is that the way forward? It's unclear. Whoa.
Now I've done it. I'm
Okay.
not done yet.
Not sure. These security modules. 1 minute left. It's not looking too good. Okay. We don't have a lot of time for trial and error is the only thing. That is a dead end. Good to know. Uh-oh. Is it gonna get us? Yep.
I'll be more careful this time.
Holy crap. Alright, so moving forward was definitely the right move. Spots where it's forcing us to wait. What is this? Oh, it lets us lock on? Why don't we just... If this is just spammable, why don't we just do this all the time?
Confirming surroundings. Confirming surroundings.
10 seconds. And there's the goalpost right over there. Alright, so this is going to be our first failed hacking. We do not have enough time for this. It'd be cool if it started us back off from a checkpoint, but it's probably going to kick us out altogether. Alright. We will actually end it for there, but that's fine. Let's see what the Marduk points we've got can get us.
I've been waiting for you.
Let's enhance something else.
Let me know if you need anything, okay?
200. Yeah, I don't mind that. But we'll do it for somebody. We'll do 5 for her. 3 more for her. And then... Let's do 2 for Elaine.
Appreciate your business. Let me know if you need anything, okay?
Sell value. Oh, that's selling them.
Business.
But okay. Let's go ahead.
I'm rooting for you.
We've still only got the first floor here. But, alright. Very much liking that. We've got our... Well, let's actually check out the other places. Station Street.
Let's head out.
Get some contacts on and poppin'. We don't have very much money, do we? No. Uh-oh. Alright. Not gonna be able to buy as much as I was hoping.
Let's see here.
On the hunt, Eddie works at one of the roasted chestnut stalls I run, but it's been a few days now since he's shown up. And considering his past with Desire, I worry he might have had some sort of run-in with a few gangsters. Would you mind looking into what happened to him for me? If you need any more info to work off of, I'll be at the terrace in front of the station. Alright, but give me 1 second. Now, before we go ahead and get started here, let's get to purchasing.
What can I get for you today?
Purifying spice. Oh, we might not have the, hold on.
Please come back soon.
We're not exactly flush with cash at the moment. Let's do what we need to do. Get ourselves some more money, and then come back to there. Alright. Right, we can't talk to him through there. Are you the Thompson that sent in the request? Ah, yes. I take it that means you're the Spriggan, correct? You're a bit different from what I imagined. Well, the guy who usually does these jobs had to leave Edith for a bit. So we're helping him out by taking on the requests ourselves. We're fully equipped to take care of things as well as any Spriggan would. We've also been made aware of the goings-on behind the scenes in the capital. You can rely on us. I see. In that case, I feel like I've seen that woman before. No, you haven't, Thompson. Pay no attention to the woman behind the curtain. Maybe it's just my imagination. Shall we get down to it then? Of course. Whenever you're ready. Your request was about someone named Eddie going missing, right? That's right. I'll go ahead and give you the full rundown. You see, I run several food stands throughout the capital. Eddie started working at a stand selling roasted nuts at the end of last year. Yeah, he's been keeping his nose clean so far. Eddie. That's a name from Van's notes. The son of the general store owner in Old Town. He used to be a member of a gang called Desire. A former gang member, huh? Sounds like foul play could be involved. Is that why you put out a 4 SPG instead of going to the guild or the police? That's right. But I'm telling you, Eddie's turned over a new leaf. He's a real hard worker. I just can't believe that he'd up and leave without saying a word to anyone. So, do you think you could find out what happened to him? What do you think we should do, S? Yeah, why not? So it looks like, I mean, it was the same thing in Reverie. Like, the choices that Swin and Nadia make will affect Van's alignment and probably vice versa, so that's whatever. Alright, leave it to us. Well, I certainly have no objections. Not to mention, if there's any possibility that he's in danger, it's my duty to help. I appreciate it. Please find out whatever you can about what's happened to Eddie. I'd like to lend you all a hand, but I do have to get back to work after this. Yeah, delegating it as long as that mirror comes. If you find out anything in the meantime, please feel free to contact me. Okay, we'll do our best. All right then, I'll be waiting for some good news. Au revoir. Desire, huh? Is he familiar? According to Van, several of their members were brutally killed a couple of days ago. Whoa. Wait, what? Oh, right. We did see that happen. And now a former member's gone missing. It's certainly possible that these events are connected, but we shouldn't jump to any conclusions at this stage. Yeah, them jokers are hiding out down in the abandoned waterways. The remaining jokers. Let's take things slowly. We should start by talking to people in Van's network who might know Eddie. Well, we know who Eddie's mom is, don't we? Let's get to it then. To Newberry General Store.
For SPG time.
Just immediately go there. No reason not to.
Okay.
Hopefully there's not more stuff to buy here. Might have to dip into our funds a bit. Oh, hello. Are you the ones filling in for Van while he's away? That's right. And we have something we'd like to ask you. It's about your son, Eddie. Eddie? Has something happened to him? I thought he was finally getting his life on track. I mean, he'd been coming by so often lately. But then he just stopped. And nobody I've spoken to has seen or heard from him either. I'm starting to worry. I mean, that's more like the behavior that he was up to previously. Well, there's no need to jump to conclusions just yet. Although, it is a bit concerning that he hasn't been home recently. And he hasn't shown up at work either, so his boss at the food stand wanted us to check on him. That's why we came to you. We were hoping he might have told you where he was headed. That boy... causing trouble for his boss, too. Well, I'm not sure how helpful this will be, but when I last saw him, he seemed a little anxious. He told me he wasn't going to be back for a while. I figured he meant he was going to be busy with work. I have a feeling he's got himself wrapped up in some trouble with that old gang of his. Maybe because they were so low on personnel, they conscripted him?
After all, they were pretty angry about him leaving. I'm worried they might still hold a grudge against him.
I understand your concern, but I think that the chances of that are pretty low. Right, because there's not too many of them left, and they've got other higher priorities.
Most of Desire's leaders are either dead or in custody. As an organized gang, they're practically finished.
Yeah, I doubt they have the manpower to go after everyone who left.
Really? But that still doesn't explain where Eddie's gone. Listen, if you have the time, I'd genuinely appreciate if you keeping an eye out for him. I need to make sure that idiot son of mine is safe.
Leave it to us. We'll do everything we can to find him. Well, that wasn't... Well, I'm not a Spriggan, so I don't think she gave us too much information. Well, now we know he hasn't been home either. Oh, well, yeah, she gave us plenty, actually. Couple that with the fact he didn't tell his mom anything useful and we're right back where we started. The Blacklight District's probably going to be our best bet then. Considering the people involved, I mean. So, this is the reintroduction of the Blacklight District. Actually, I suggest we seek out a more reliable source. Or not. I believe Van mentioned wanting to introduce you if the opportunity presented itself. Using her Zypha, Elaine called up this particular reliable source. Is it gonna be Bermati? It is. Hello there. You must be Van's newest little assistants. My name's Bermati, and I'm a bartender. However, I'm also well known for my intimate relations with Van. Sure, why not? He's not wrong. He's just being very misleading. Is that so? Oh, I'd love to hear any stories you have. Although I understand any hesitancy you may have about him, he's one of the best information dealers out there. Both Van and I make great use of him. But with that, let's get back to business. Bermati, there's something we'd like to ask you. Anything for you, Elaine. Based on the timing, I assume you'd like to know about the happenings surrounding Desire? Oh, okay, sure. It sounds like you know exactly what's going on then. Of course I do. These past few days, the remaining members have been disappearing one after the other. It would seem the other gangs have finally declared a hunting season. Really? Well, I guess kicking them while they're down would be the best possible strategy. Some of their members have faced capture already, though many more have gone into hiding. Hunting season? Desire was an organization with its fair share of cunning leaders, and those leaders always made sure they were at the top of the underworld. Wait, even with the Mafia running around? Okay. To see their ambitions fulfilled, however, they made the choice to trample upon a number of other gangs. Unsurprisingly, this created enemies. Enemies who have the perfect opportunity to enact revenge on their past tormentors, now that Desire's down on its luck. Is that the gist of it? Bingo! The situation has been escalating at a rapid pace lately. Most of these hunters aren't even attempting to hide who they're targeting anymore. Actually, it seems that one group was recently acting up at the Centre Marché. That might be a good place to start. Right, I appreciate the intel. We'll head over now. There's no need for thanks. After all, only the best for my dearest Van and Elaine. Swin and Nadia, darlings, feel free to use little old me to your advantage in the future. If you're ever in a pinch, just give me a ring. Of course, we appreciate it. Yeah, thanks, Barry. Barry? Oh my, now that's a new one. I'll be looking forward to chatting with you in the future, Nadia. He likes his nickname already. Well, it looks like our next destination is set. We'll look into what the gangs were doing at the Marché and see if we can get some info on Eddie. Yes, we don't know for certain if he's a target of this hunting season. But you have to admit the timing's a little convenient. No way it's not related. So, he found out that other Desire members were getting knocked off and went into hiding to, I guess, prevent the people around him from being affected? Let's find someone familiar with the Marché and see if they know anything. About hunting season.
Accessing your schedule.
Yes.
Here I go!
Changing dash button behavior. Whoa, there's new stuff here to buy again? Our wallet is under siege! Okay, I might just bite the bullet and start selling stuff.
Let's see here.
Yeah. Are they? Okay, I guess whoever we're looking for is up there.
Check out what I have on offer.
How do we get up there? Interesting. Waltham. Oh. We have...
Welcome.
Okay, I guess we have been in here.
Can't get enough of this heavenly scent.
Interesting. Okay, can't get there via Waltham, I guess.
There's so much to see.
There's no one standing up there. I must be looking... Okay, I must be looking at the wrong place. No, it is elevated. Rest air. Oh, okay. I see the thing now. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we figured it out eventually. Giselle,
saw her reading at the, Oh, that's just a shard token? Oh, whoops. Sorry, but we're after the main info. But yeah, we saw her towards the end of the previous game. People going after former Desire members? Yes, something like that has happened around here. In broad daylight. Some people last night in the back alleys were wondering if I saw anyone that could be a Desire member. I didn't want to get involved, and personally I think it's much more interesting to watch from the sidelines. I see. It doesn't look like there's much of a hunt going on now, though. That's probably because they moved to another location. You're a sharp one. The Desire members aren't idiots. Oop. If someone comes to search you out, you'd naturally find a place to lay low for a while. A place to lay low? I would think the most likely place to do so would be the sewers, which is where we found them at. Up until recently, Jeffrey and the others were using it as a temporary hideout. I think you might just be right. I saw some rough-looking types run off in that direction a little while ago. I'm guessing they were found out and had to resort to bunkering down in the sewers. Sounds like we got here just in time then. Let's head on. Oh, let's head out. Yeah, we should get going. So, I mean, this is gonna be leading to a fight then.
Accessing your schedule.
Sancture Marche. We can't go straight to the depths. That's fine. Oh, we don't need to go straight to the depths. They caught these guys instantly. Wow. Man, they put hands on this guy. Damn it. Didn't I just say we were in the wrong? Please, just let me go. I'll give you all my Mira. Shut up. No amount of Mira is going to pay us back for all the years of suffering you guys put us through. Desire's reign is at an end. Now get down on your knees and beg like the dogs you are. Guess these Desire pricks weren't so high and mighty after all. It pisses me off that we were under their heel for so long. How about we tie their legs and let them go for a swim? I actually should check to see if we can fish as Swim and Nadia. No, please. You don't really want me to die, right? What's with the sudden appeal for mercy? Don't you remember when you did shit like this? Whoa. They're gonna make it hurt. That'll be enough of that, I think. Sorry, but I'm not willing to overlook senseless violence. 3-on-3. Who the hell are you? This is none of your business. Looks like that info was spot on. They should know what's going on. But Eddie's not here. Well, they'll spill their guts one way or another. Although I would prefer we not resort to violence if we can help it. I really feel like we're very much past that, Elaine. If you'll answer all our questions, this matter can be resolved peacefully. Hey, that woman over there. Isn't that the Blade or something bracer? The hell are you talking about? You think some famous person would get involved in our little spats? Look, I don't know why you're here, but if you get in our way, you better be ready for a beating. Yeah, that's about what I expected. Alright. Boo. Why can't you losers learn to use your brains for once? If you've already made up your mind, then let's get this over with quickly. And there he goes. Leave him be for now. We need to take care of the perpetrators first. I wonder, he will probably turn the corner at some point. Damn it, you let him get away! They're just a couple of brats. Come on, let's get rid of them. That woman looks like she can totally beat ass, though. She'll be too busy defending the kids. Just surround them. Here they come. Oh, he disappeared. Alright, guess we did get to see it.
Just try and take me. Fine, let's play. You're freaking dead.
Alright, in that case, let's start with... we'll just get in there and get to... There we go. Rapid shot. And she is our forte-er.
There we go. Swin, let's have him boost so we can get the most out of this double up.
Here you go.
Alright.
We'll win.
Yeah, we're just about to,
Now's a great time for a start.
let's get it.
You aren't getting away. Cross.
Alright, enough of that. It would have been nice to be able to get them all one and done, honestly. Alright, why don't you tell us what you know? I can't believe we lost to some kids and their chaperone! Hey, I can't move my body! That was fast. What did you do? Is this string? It won't come off! Yep, it's a special thread of mine, as fine as spider silk. The strongest of the strong couldn't get out of this stuff. It'd be practically impossible for guys like you to get out of it. That's what you think. Well, if that won't hold you back, why don't we try this? Ha! Whoa. What did you do to me? How did she do that? I don't feel so good. So dizzy. That blood rush into your head. All I did was give the thread a little tug. More importantly, are you going to answer our questions or not? Honestly, I'm fine with whatever you choose. We'll just leave you here and wait for all the blood to build in your head. Do you want to know what happens after that? Elaine is like, hold on now. I know that you're concerned, but you can leave it to Nadia. Coercion is one of her strong suits. This method never fails to get results. She won't cross any lines. Maybe you shouldn't say that out loud? Yes, well, considering you two are trained by the Gardens, forgive me if I have my concerns. I understand you have your faith in her, but there's almost certainly a difference between what you and I believe crosses the line. Just know that if things get out of hand, it'll be my duty to stop her. With Elaine's input, Nadia was made to perform a more subdued line of questioning on the gang members. She really made Nadia stop, but in the end, they informed the group of their aims without creating any further fuzz. Alright, well, we got the results we wanted, somehow. So, it seems that Eddie really was a target. It doesn't sound like anyone's managed to find him yet, though. I don't think they were lying, either. That reminds me. Brenda said he dropped by a few days ago, right? Yeah, and that's when he mentioned he wouldn't be around for a while. In light of what we know about the hunt for former Desire members, there's the possibility that he could have already gotten God, but not Eddie. He's not Eddie. It seems most likely that Eddie hid himself away so as to not get his mother involved. However, there is no guarantee he can keep himself safe until the end. Our client's request was to figure out what happened to him. So we should focus on actually finding him first. At the moment, nothing else matters. In that case, why don't we head to the Satan District? We're just doing a walkabout of Edith at this point. Based on what those gang members said, it seems that's where he's most likely to be. They did say that a former Desire member had holed up somewhere over there. So they've got everybody's location. It also sounded like they'd already started their search of the area. We should hurry. So the Satan District it is. Oh, it's red. Okay. Neat. This, I'm not gonna lie, I don't strictly remember. There's a police station in the area, so it should be relatively safe around here. However, this spot in particular is known to be a place where shady people frequent. Oh, so we're using ourselves as bait. No! Stop! Hey, what do you think you're doing? The kid's got nothing to do with this. Stop! Get back here! What was that? Let's go take a look. We just heard a scream. Is everything all right? These gangsters just came up out of nowhere and accused us of hiding someone.
We told them we didn't know what they were talking about, but they took Frala with them as a hostage anyway. Frala? She's one of the girls on our team. Simon, our captain, went to go chase him down. It looks like we don't have time to waste. Do you know where they might have gone? The sewer entrance under the bridge would be my best guess. Everybody keeps going to those places. They ran off in that direction at least. It'd be the most likely hiding place. Got it. Leave everything to us. The sewers again? It's like they're under the smell or something. No time for complaining. Let's go. So we're not gonna get no walking about, just right into the sewers. Alright, well. This must be the Satan sewers. Nadia, you sensing anything? Yeah, feels like a bunch of people just came through here. I think I can hear some voices too. Well, that's not really oh, she did say it feels like people came through here. How she can tell that? Shards maybe? But even if shards weren't around, she'd just be reading it up. They must be up ahead then. We're not too late. I'd heard that you two were quite skilled, but that was an impressive analysis. This does seem to be where the gang members ran off to. Let's remain cautious moving forward. Caution? Caution's our middle name. Not really, but...
Stage is full.
Ooh. Wait. Did these? Swin is quick with it, too. Did this charge boost gauge last game? I don't know. I've probably been paying closer attention. Oh well. Let's go ahead. Move on down here. Did Desire kill all the, Why are there no monsters? Yeah, I remember that little trick from last game. You could get a lot further in like that. Huh. They killed everything! Nothing. Plus 5 CP. I mean, that's always nice, but... Whoa! What is Frala doing? Okay, is she just hanging out or is she with them? You should be ashamed of yourselves! Simon, come on. We all know about your friendship with Mark. Who is Mark? I get that you're trying to cover for your friends in Desire, but even Eddie? That's real low. I'm only going to say this once. Talk about Mark again and you'll get a face full of fist. That's beside the point anyway. I ain't covering for anyone. He's really gonna take on 6 dudes by himself in a sewer? And even if I was, Eddie left Desire ages ago. What, you think we just take his word for it? If you don't start talking, I'm sure we can find another way to get those lips flapping. Simon! The longer it takes for you to fess up, the more time we have to think of ways to put this girl to use. I'm sure we can have all kinds of fun with her. But if that idea doesn't sit well with you, maybe it's time to rethink where your loyalties lie. You dirty bastards! Yeah, let's go ahead and put a stop to all this. Who are you? I apologize for the delay, but we'll be taking it from here. Some wannabe heroes, huh? We've got a hostage. Try anything and see what happens. This girl's skin will split like a grape. What, is he holding a gun to the back of her head? A hostage definitely complicates things. If push comes to shove, we might need to rely on Nadia's abilities. Oh, Eddie, get your dirty paws! This dude did a flying kick! Damn this kid! Well, alright, W Eddie! Eddie! Finally decided to show your face, huh? Eddie? Well, that was certainly unexpected. Right! He's like, let's get right to it! Frala, get over here! Simon, got it! Don't worry about me. Take the kid and get out of here. Now he wants to fight them 1v6? Alright, thanks. Be careful. Yeah, getting Frala out of here is definitely the most important thing. So the brat escaped, huh? But damn, you sure picked a good time to jump in, Eddie. Saved us the trouble of having to look for you. Look, if it's me you want, nobody else has to be involved. So you're Eddie, huh? You have a bit more backbone than I was expecting. We were asked by Thompson and your mother to find you. The manager and my ma, huh? Bunch of busybodies. Well, for the moment, we can see that you're fine. We'll talk about what comes next after we deal with these guys. You better be ready to show us a good time after you ruined all our fun. Make sure you get your hands on Eddie. It'll be a pain in the ass if he runs off again. Don't worry about me. I've dealt with my share of punks before. Of that, I have no doubt.
Just try and take me.
Okay, so I was like, is Eddie going to be a guest in this fight? But no. We're long past the days of our camera woman assisting us. She'll just run up. Yeah, always a good amount of damage. Uh-oh. Man, they're definitely doing us dirty, though. He's going to get to working on him. And Nadia, we actually might not be able to wait. Yeah. And, okay, it only got her. I don't know how I effed that up. Alright, well, hey. And she was level 12. Oh my gosh. If that had gone on any longer, I might have been in trouble. Give up. You have no chance of winning. Unless you wish to be needlessly injured, I suggest you surrender. Shut up! We ain't going down that easily. Come on, get up! I'll call the others. They still want this action? These guys don't know when to quit. Guys who can't tell when to give up aren't exactly popular with the ladies, you know. I sure am tired, though. Is it okay if I take a little nap? It's okay if I take a little nap here, right? Why would that ever be okay? If you're tired, you're more than welcome to have a rest in our hotel suite. Is that? No, that can't be. Oh, it's not. Okay, right. Because it's like Eddie has a habit of helping out little girls, and this one happens to have a lot of backup. You're with the Bank of Edith. They're the ones from the fake kidnapping case, aren't they? I heard the old man was her bodyguard. What are you doing here? Helping you out. Especially you, Berzelia. You promised you'd stay out of trouble. That's my line, Eddie. You knew you'd be in danger, but you still ran off on your own. If you don't want to cause trouble, then don't make others worry on your behalf. I see. I believe I understand the issue now. Let me be clear. Eddie is no longer involved with Desire. In fact, he's been received as an important guest at our hotel. I'd like to ask that you take your leave. If you bring harm to our guest in any way, shape, or form, we will show no mercy. What a pain in the ass. Yeah, we've got the numbers now. Screw it. There's no benefit to bagging Eddie anymore. Let's just clear out. Are you kidding? We're gonna give up just like that? I mean, feel free for round 2, dude. You don't get it, do ya? Bringing him in wasn't gonna make us any Mira anyway. And with these guys involved, the costs outweigh the benefit. And there they go. So, I'm free? I don't have to keep hiding? Mr. Rumsfeld, thank you for your help. It seems you were far more involved than I imagined. Eddie did them a real solid last year. Care to explain how you ended up here? Of course. We've known Eddie for a while now, you could say. We only did what we could to help him. However, you must all be exhausted after that incident. Rather than standing around in the sewer, why not return with us to more comfortable lodgings? Sure.
We're not gonna say no to some very, very... Aw, no food? So in other words, you were holed up around here the entire time. Yeah, as soon as the other gang started taking revenge, I figured it was only a matter of time before they came for me. I didn't want to cause any trouble for my ma, so I thought I'd just lay low till it all blew over. Actually, I started chatting with Brasilia here through orb mail some time ago. When he suddenly stopped answering my messages, I was worried sick. I felt I had no choice but to put out a search for him. So he had a whole bunch of people looking for him. We finally found him taking shelter in an abandoned building. Of course, Eddie was hesitant to come with us, but we couldn't just leave him all alone and defenseless. Oh, they found him before we did. I owe him a lot, so I wanted to do everything I could to help him in return. That's right. He helped resolve the kidnapping situation you were involved in, didn't he? Ah, I remember now. Van's note said something about Eddie thwarting the leader of Desire's real goal. Well then, I trust you now understand why we were so adamant on protecting Eddie. Originally, we had intended to offer him a place to stay in safety. However, he eventually ended up running off into danger all on his own. I suspect you can surmise the rest. I know they did me a solid by covering for me. I shouldn't have run off like that. But those rats started bringing in people who had nothing to do with any of this. I couldn't let that happen. You've truly matured, Eddie. Honestly, yeah, he's really put his nose to the grindstone. They tried to pull him back in, but we didn't let him. However, it should be known that Miss Brasilia was the one who decided on coming to your aid. He was so brave for standing up to them. I just wanted to give him a hand. Wow, guess I really owe you one, huh? Well, aren't you two an interesting pair? I suppose it's more of a sibling relationship, though. Much different from me and S. Yeah, sure. Anyway. We've already contacted Thompson. He should be here soon. I see. Looks like I made him worry too. Do you think he'll be mad? I'm sure he'll just be glad that you're not dead. I know everything's settled down, but I fear my ma got wrapped up in this. I don't think you need to worry about that. Those gang members mentioned that they weren't getting much benefit from targeting former Desire members. I think they've given up on pursuing you any further, Eddie. You should be safe. Especially because he has so many people backing him. I've already reported this situation to the guild. Any hunt of theirs will be put to an immediate end. Wow! You already gave a report to the guild? You've really got your stuff together, Blade Lady. Blade Lady? Huh. Guess that means I don't need to go back to hiding then. You found Eddie? Oh, that's the manager. Thompson, sorry for making you worry. There's no need to apologize. I heard you had a lot on your plate. From now on, I hope you'll feel you can come to me for any help you might need. And you all, thank you very much. It seems you went well beyond just finding the boy. We also, put an end to all the hunting season BS. Well, Elaine did, but she's with us, so we did. I'll be sure to send the payment over as soon as I can. Thank you. We were happy to help. Another successful day of substitute sprigganing. I'd also like to thank everyone at the hotel for all you've done for Eddie. Please, it was no problem at all. We've simply returned an old favor. Yes, Eddie helped me, so it was my turn to help him. Eddie, you should make sure to take it easy for a while. I'm sure your mother must be worried sick. I'm sorry to ask more of you so soon, but would you mind making sure he gets home safely? Yeah, no problem. The adventure doesn't end till you're safe and sound in bed. Hey, don't go thinking you can start pushing me around. I'll go see my ma if I wanna. Can't you be a little more honest with yourself? You do care about your mom a lot, after all. Well, of course I do, but it's kinda embarrassing. Jeez, I ain't got a leg to stand on when it comes to you, Brasilia. Alright, I'll go see my ma. I'm glad to hear it. It's up to a little sister to keep her big brother in check. Actually, this is a good chance for me to finally meet your mom. I've been wanting to meet her for a while now. Yes, seeing as you and Miss Berzelia plan to remain in contact, I would appreciate the chance to learn more about you. It's prudent that I thank the woman who raised such a fine young man. What? You're all overreacting. Hey, you guys, say something. Well, hey, this is your reward, Eddie. Your family getting a little bit bigger. Thank you so much for finding my idiot son. The same to you as well, miss. I appreciate all the trouble you've gone to bring him back. Can't believe they actually came home with me. There's hardly any need for thanks, madam. We were pleased to help where we could. That being said, have you ever heard of the rather fantastic display of courage that Eddie gave? It wouldn't surprise me if Eddie actually didn't mention that to his mom. Yeah, even though he was being hunted, he went out of his way to help others in need. And when that happened, he said, "My goodness, to think my little troublemaker could be so brave." You don't need to go over every little thing I did. Come on, this is so embarrassing. I think we can see ourselves out. Yes, we did our best to protect the peace. For now, let's leave them be. Aw, they were just getting to the good stuff. Yeah, maybe next time. So, this definitely lawed us up.
Mirror deposit confirmed.
Or chaos? I guess because we were dealing with the gangs? Well, interesting.
Accessing your schedule.
So we've got the Mira deposit, but let's get to Deerk Memorial Park.
Let's be on our way.
Because, Elaine, we can buy something here? Oh, because there's a vending machine. Refreshing wheat tea. And which way do we have to go? Good old Deerk. I think it's the park itself. If it stops us from going over here, yeah, this is gated off. Alright, well, now we know it's the other way for sure. But, Elaine, why is she still so low level? Oh well. She wasn't with us for all the Marianne Garten stuff.
This cutie has booty.
Whoa. So, definitely a good opportunity. Marianne Garten. So we can access the Marianne Garten from those as well. Nope. I think we're just going to take ourselves a nice little scenic route down. Especially since we've still got so many, we still got such low HP. We're still half health. But, I think that what we're going to focus on, because I still want another Septium Vein. Even though we do have a whole other, method of getting more stuff now. Evade 2. I'm not going to worry about the slots so much. I just don't want to put myself in that same situation that we were in last time. How long has it been since these things were used? Military watch. Let's actually check. Yeah, he doesn't have a single accessory. Alright, the gladiator headband. Let's actually give that to Elaine. Yeah, because Elaine's S-Craft... No, doesn't she have a... What are her, Yeah, she's got Pep Boost. We're giving her the Gladiator headband because she can more easily spread the love that way. Yeah. So since she can recover other people's CP totals, arts attack up, crit +5, evasion +5, EP +20. And shield gets prevents rot. So yes, definitely got to make sure that we... looks like there's not going to be any getting past that. Unless... Oh, okay, yeah. We can just walk right past him.
Let's take a break.
Nah, we're good to go. I want to be able to get to the end of this. These things look kind of mean. Yeah.
Treasure.
I think we've got ourselves a strike 2. I think we've got ourselves a pretty good setup, honestly. But... I definitely... Am I missing something? No. Is Stanley's thing open, actually? I should probably go back and check that. Because we're not going to be able to... Well, at the end of this, if there's one of those yellow ones, we're probably going to be able to make ourselves this septium vein that I keep talking about. But I do think some grinding is in order, because being level 13 is kind of a liability. Or not even kind of, it's definitely quite the liability. You ain't getting us. An EP cut 2. I'm actually not sure who I should be giving that to, considering that we don't have okay, so that's gonna be, and we can only charge here. Okay, we are going to grind a bit. I'm gonna get Elaine up to our level, so give me a one moment. Well, that was fruitful. A fearsome foe is prowling around. Yeah. We're only like level 17 with her, but that is A-okay. She'll open up with...
We're doing good.
Insight. Oh, is that new? I could have sworn there was nothing like that in the previous one. Grant insight to allies. Oh, that's not very helpful because I don't remember what insight does. Well, whatever. Let's go ahead and just get in there and start dealing damage. That is not the one I intended to attack. Shrill scream. We actually ate a whole bunch of food. And I went around because I was trying to find... I don't think... I keep looking around for, but clearly it's not available just yet. But whatever it is that allows us to synthesize new quartz, we just don't have access to that capability yet. But I did switch Septium Vein off of Van and onto S. But that was like halfway through my grinding, so I didn't get as much use out of it as I possibly could. But yes, we went around because I was looking for that. We bought a whole bunch of new food, ate a whole bunch of new food. We're at party rank 3 or 5 versus 3 that we were at previously. So let's go ahead. Can we get all of them?
This ends now.
Just most of them. That is A-okay.
Boost gauge upgraded.
Now, the main problem is the one that's got the crit. Let's go ahead and see how that fares for this guy. Yeah.
Energy output
sure.
Boost gauge limit removed.
Call allies. Uh-oh. We gotta deal with the main problem then.
Slice them to bits, Blade Lady.
Wait, she's really going with that. Alright, well. We've got 2 on recast. We're about to be able to get Nana Festival. Hoping that we can hold out. Alright.
I'm putting you in charge,
So,
Captain Tettle.
let's go ahead. Get everybody out of here. That did not kill everybody. So we've got Knights of Asteria again.
I don't feel at my best.
You'll be fine, hopefully.
Boost gauge upgraded.
Shouldn't be too much more. Yeah, 863. We'd be risking literally all of it, so we don't want to do just a regular attack. Mark, seal, mute.
It ends here.
Come on.
You're done for.
All right. Whoo. Just didn't want to risk it because we were in too bad of a situation. Fortune.
Quest completed.
Park Peril.
Reward deposited.
I guess peril in the park. Park peril in French.
It's dangerous. Don't try to be a hero.
Ah, we already cleared out all the danger. But now, let's go ahead.
Wrong way.
Okay. Can't go that way just yet. Achievements. Oh, let me take a look at these. Yeah. We'll do the U material. Grendel's skill stone. So the Grendel's got its own separate skill stones from Van. Makes sense. All these just give us Sepith Mass, which is right on freaking time, not gonna lie. The the money was not moneying. Firestorm. Oh, and it separates the ones we've already finished. Increases preemptive shard attack damage by 20%. Alright. But there's one other thing I want to do. Can we not? Okay, I was looking for it. Locate fishing spots by using R3 shard search. I mean, this seems pretty straightforward.
Now.
All right. And I also bought a new oh. I also bought a new thing. The line. Whoops. The uh-oh. Crap. Okay. Ooh, that wasn't good.
Here we go. I'd rather do the eating than the catching, but fine.
So I guess everybody can fish. Like,
Dang it.
whoops. What am I doing?
I'd rather do the eating than the catching, but
Like in CS3. Let me lock in.
got something.
But yes, we bought a reeling line? It was something like that.
Look, dinner.
Carp. A C rank carp. Alright. But yes, now that that is done, all that's left to do is to hit up Trion Tower. So, what's all this? Ooh, the same day, 11:05 a.m., 3rd District, Trion Tower. First time we've ever got here. Ooh, ah.
Oh, so this is Trion Tower.
I can't lie. The thing in Crossbell, maybe it's because of the art style difference, but it did look taller.
We'd only ever seen it from a distance. It makes a way bigger impression up close.
Can you believe the me of 5 minutes ago used to think Orcus Tower was the cooler one?
That's what it was called.
Guess I'm gonna have to redo my ranking.
Keep in mind that Crossbell's Orcus Tower serves a very different purpose from Trion Tower. It wouldn't be fair to judge them by the same metrics. They're similar enough, though. Yeah, names aside, Orcus is more of a skyscraper. Trion Tower, on the other hand, is better described as general infrastructure. It acts as a relay transmitter for broadcasting orbital waves throughout Edith. Oh! Alright, so it's a giant antenna? And that's only one of the various roles it fulfills. Managing all of Edith's network comms has probably been the biggest one these last few years. Hold on. Something doesn't add up here. Trion Tower was designed by Professor Epstein, right? And that was 50 years ago, just after the Orbital Revolution. So this was before? I mean, they could have retrofitted it in the decades since. Correct. It was initially built as a clock tower, complete with meteorological instruments. About 20 years later, they installed a radio facility. It took another 2 decades before they implemented support for all manner of orbital communication waves. But the tower's overall shape and frame are basically unchanged. Yeah, like I said, they've been retrofitting it. which implies Professor Epstein saw modern orbital networking coming a whole half-century before it was invented. That's rather far-fetched, though it's a little frightening how I can't actually refute you. They were picked as disciples for a reason, I'm sure. Pretty flaky of the guy to leave all these crazy predictions and inventions behind. It's definitely not impossible, though. Who cares about all that mumbo-jumbo anyway? This is the perfect chance to take in all the sights. Come on, S. What should we hit up first? Do we look like tourists to you? If we're making the rounds, covering the establishments around the mall would be a good start. More places to spend all this brand new money we're about to convert. As far as views go, the most impressive one here can be found on the tower's observation deck. That being the case, what do you say we save the best for last? Now you're talking! Good thing we have a local to give us the inside scoop, huh? Are you sure about this? We're still on the job here. This is the route we'd have to take on our investigation anyway. Besides, there's no harm in mixing business with pleasure a bit on your first stay in the capital. She's such a good host. I imagine you haven't had much chance to enjoy the city outside of your 4 SPGs. Wow! If Beauty's Blade had a third B, it'd stand for big-hearted. No wonder everyone looks up to you. Yeah, you're almost nothing like Van said you'd be. Oh! And what exactly did Van say I would be? Swin! Why'd you have to bring that up? Crap. Open mouth, insert foot. I'm very curious to know what Van would say, though. Oh, you know, scary, demanding, the kind of lady we should watch her step around. Oh, wow. Nadia's like, oh, Van, you're gonna pay for saying that one. Hey, why'd you go and tell her all that? Because I'm an ally to scorned beauties all over the world. Since when? Since right now. Well, that's enlightening. I'm sure Van was only playing it up for laughs. Oh, no need to defend the man. He can do so himself, in person. Now then, shall we be off? I'll lead the way. Who knew smiles could be that scary? Right, Van is super in for it. A maiden's heart is like a maze of landmines. Better start taking notes, S. We're still jacked up? Come on, game. Give me a freebie here. All right, whatever. It's not like Breath is that. Okay, it does cost 80 EP. R&M. Oh, fashionable. So does this sell? Yeah, armor.
I
Nah.
hope you found everything to your liking.
We need blues across the board, or it ain't worth it. Stardust Cinema. There's a new movie theater here. Which I guess is all the way over there.
Oh, look, it's Mishy.
Whoa.
Don't be fooled.
Wait, is that not Mishy? Hey, Mishy, over here! It blows my mind how one simple mascot could take both the Empire and Republic by storm. Is that not Mishy? That's no easy feat when you think about it. The costume is... The costume ain't as robust as the one they had back in Crossbell, that's for sure. All of Mishy's brand management in Calvert is handled by Valis Investment Bank, who, we did a joint mission for them with, Sharid. Much of his popularity here can be attributed to their financial might. That being said... What's eating Exu? You two are familiar with the original Mishy, correct? Take a closer look if you would. Yeah. Bro's been hitting the Ozempic. Huh? Compare the Mishy you know to the way this one has been localized for the Calvardian market. Oh, what an interesting choice of commentary. Or a choice of vocabulary. Obviously, the most drastic discrepancy is the head-to-body ratio. Yeah. But the size of his ears and the pattern on his tail differ subtly as well. Do they? You've got to be a real Mishy head in order to notice that. Moreover, exaggerating his paws ends up compromising any sense of unity in his design. Elaine is like, they jacked bro up. She's like, they massacred my boy. When added together, these seemingly minute factors have a considerable impact on his overall silhouette. He looks like if you turned down a dark corner and saw him, it'd be the last thing you ever did. Granted, this Mishy does have his own charms, but I'm disinclined to call him authentic. I don't know. I really like Calvardi and Mishy. We should really check his movie out. Whoa, we got a connoisseur over here. Just let her have this one. And then... How do I... There it is. Active. Ooh. These ones are from the beginning of the game. But I guess we're about to hit the cap. I think it's 60 that it'll start,
Oh, look! It's Mishy!
Don't be fooled.
So that was it. Okay, cool. Ooh, something blue has popped up. Ned. Oh, what am I supposed to do now? My mirror's as good as gone at this point. Ugh, get a hold of yourself, Ned. This is no time to call it quits. Maybe I could try out that thing people keep whispering about. What thing? This guy's really monologuing, huh? Can't say I'm not curious, but let's just leave him to it. What thing are people talking about? Is somebody else over here mentioning it? Quincy Parlor. This is a Quincy company store. They're one of the biggest confectioners in Zemuria. Your parents run this biz, right, Blade Lady? Oh, maybe you can get us some freebies? I don't think she'd be in their good graces at the moment. Read the room, Nadia. From what I remember, their president was arrested last year. Okay, and so apparently it's determinate how that can turn out. If you're a bad Spriggan and don't investigate properly, you never finger the guy. So I'm sure if you F that up and then transfer it over, then maybe he never gets got? Unfortunately, my involvement in the business ended when I took off from home. I'm afraid that means family benefits are out of the question. Aw, man! I can certainly give you my recommendations, though. Why don't we browse around? Huh. Didn't realize you made such a clean break from them. More like it was forced on her, but... I feared the worst after that debacle with Father, but things seem to be recovering for the most part. That's one worry off my mind. Aw, she wants the family business to stay successful. Though why is it called Quincy if it's owned by, the Eau Claires? Had to remember her last name for a second.
Hello there.
Sous Chef Eclairs. Quincy Pudding. Oh.
Thank you.
Let me go ahead because I actually bought 2 of these. Soul Chef Frying. Fish and tartare time. Ooh, fish and chips sounds so good. Sweet Eclair. And I couldn't find healthy liquor. I actually went back to try to make the... Whoa. Huh. Wow. Fancy seeing him here. But I actually went to try to find some healthy liquor so we could make Elaine's dish, but I couldn't.
Those are Robovacs. As I recall, they're newly manufactured by the Vern Company. I hear they're testing them out here at Trion Mall.
This should be a household staple. I could make these things do all the cleaning for me.
Robovacs. What are they talking about? Security robots?
Good news, everyone. Mishy has finally made his way to...
Okay. He's not a robot. I clearly am not seeing whatever it was they were talking about, so let's just
How can I help
get
you?
on with it. Camel wallet. Item drop rate plus 20%. Well, since we're here... Yeah. That's going to be able to get synchronized into something good later on. Let's keep our eyes peeled for these Robovacs.
Welcome to the Trion Mall. Here you'll find Trion Tower.
There it is. Okay. These are just reskinned enemies from the Geofront.
A movie theater, boutiques.
They're tiny. Well, actually, no, because they're not reskinned enemies. They were actually like, if you read the little blurb about the things, they actually say that they're defective and malfunctioning and stuff like that. So maybe the Vern Company, I don't know, seems a little shady. Movie viewing. You can watch a variety of films in any movie theater you come across. Oh, and in the previous game, there was also something about bathing outside of being forced to, being required to in the
Please silence your phone.
And all the bathing areas available. I never did any of that, so I didn't get any of the achievements for it.
Step right up.
So, Stardust Cinema, the Adventures of Rockford, Golden Calamity, genre teen sports, genre action adventure. We'll come back to this. Let me make sure that, because something tells me after we do this, we might be passing up our opportunity. In fact, let's just do it right now. Because what I don't want to happen is for us to go to the thing and then for us to have passed up our opportunity to actually check this out. So we'll start with the Adventures of Rockford, Golden Calamity. Yeah.
Thank you for your visit today.
That might be Junifer, but that could also be generic woman number 900. The indelible Rita Rockford is an archaeologist and a skilled treasure hunter. Oh, so she's Lara Croft? Her next quest is to find the Golden Staff of Salah, a relic that caused disastrous calamities in bygone days. Yeah, she's Lara Croft. She travels to ruins in the far reaches of the continent where she meets and rescues an indigenous girl, Asha. I guess this is more like Indiana Jones then. Though I guess, isn't Indiana Jones just a male Lara Croft? Though, she probably came a couple decades after he did. I was still gonna... He's a male Lara Croft, why not? Her kidnappers are after the Golden Staff, and they require her blood to retrieve it. Rita and Asha band together and infiltrate the depths of the ruins to steal the staff right from under their noses. However, their efforts are thwarted by the dastardly Willard, an old family rival from her father's time. Willard is the ringleader of an illegal excavation group known as Legendary Dawn. He takes Asha hostage and tells Rita to hand over the treasure in exchange for her life. Rita readily complies, and Willard, now in possession of the treasure, loses himself in ecstasy. But then, the ruins begin to collapse and shake around him, causing the staff to slip out of his hands. Willard chases the staff as it rolls across the ground, and in that moment, Rita sees an opening.
I'll be taking that.
Oh, is this gonna be...
Hand over the staff. Or would you prefer I put a bullet in this poor girl's head?
No. Please, don't do it, Rita.
Fine. Put the gun down, and I'll toss you the staff.
A wise decision. It's lighter than before.
Did she get the jewel?
No, it's a fake!
Huh?
And you call yourself my father's rival. Shame you don't have his eye for antiquities.
Huh? You're giving this to me? Really? Are you sure?
Of course. I promised I'd protect it for you, didn't I?
Oh, yeah. And a promise is a promise. Thank you so much, Rita.
Damn you, Rita Rockford. Damn you! I'll remember this until the day I die. And before that happens, I will have my revenge.
Keep dreaming. You'll never get your hands on these treasures because I'll always be there to protect them. Or my name isn't Rita Rockford.
All right. So in the previous game, I guess we can expect there to be 2 CGs per movie now, which is cool. There was just one for the ones in the previous one. But I get to see our... Oh, and we're talking about it in the theater now? Instead of outside in the lobby? Wowee! The treasure hunting life sounds awesome! You get heart-pounding thrills and free golden treasures. Figures you'd fixate on that part. What caught my eye, though, was the lead actress. Her name is Judith Lanster, though I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that. She's well known even among non-moviegoers. Knowing the two of you, I assume you worked out the other name she goes by, yes? Whatever could you mean? I don't know anything about a cat lady who's going around disturbing the peace. It hasn't been long since we arrived in Calvard, but I suppose we could read about it more in the paper. It's alright. I don't really feel like going into that much detail about it right now anyway. Right, Judith herself is going to go into plenty of detail all on her own, completely unprompted, when she shows up. Van's office is getting livelier all the time. He will have his work cut out for him when he gets back. Oh right, I forgot they sell brochures for the films here. Perhaps I should buy one for Van. They aren't showing this movie outside of Edith yet, after all. Okay, I figured. I was like, what if the stuff for us here is actually different than the stuff we're going to be able to watch as Van? Elaine. Oh. Free connection events. I forgot you get that kind of bonus. Okay. Now that we've gone ahead and given some money to our girl Judith, let us continue on. Sally forth and all that good stuff. Not before we do this, though. Oh, well, hey. Vern's store. Looks like business is booming. This is one of the Vern Company's retail locations, which I think is also a first. No wonder! You can't go anywhere without hearing that name. Whoa! Pink T-phones. Naturally, they sell a variety of orbments for home use, but in recent times, they've focused their efforts on bringing Xiphas to general consumers. The all-in-one communication devices found here offer the same specifications with none of the combat functionality. You can even give them an in-store test run before making a purchase. So, Vern is the Apple Store? Xiphas, huh? Nadia and I use them ourselves. It's impressive how far they've come without the Epstein Foundation's involvement. Feels like they're leaps and bounds ahead on the old Vern versus Rhineford rivalry now. Yeah, them Arcuses have nothing on Xiphas. It's kind of bittersweet, though. Call me old school, but I've gotten pretty attached to the Enigma and Arcus units. I completely forgot about the, like, not that they were an upgrade from the completely unnamed orbments we were using in Liberl, but the Enigmas themselves, the introduction of Master Quartzes. We were really in the prehistoric ages back then. Oh, those people there. Though who's the brunette? Hey, is that who I think it is? Let's go up and get a closer look. Good idea. We may as well stop by and say hello. The stairwell should be just behind that door. I guess people were having trouble finding it during playtesting or something. So they're like, let's add this. Silver headphones. Oh. And I'm not about to spend any money on Xiphas covers.
Welcome! Thank you for coming!
We could buy more action ones.
Please stop by again!
But no, I'm gonna hoard my stuff until we can make more septium veins. Yeah. Go ahead and see what they're... Oh, there's no stairwell. It just ports us up here. Who?
Thank you again for putting this detailed analysis together. I'll make sure to pass it along to Professor Schmidt.
Well, we know exactly who that is, and she is looking a lot taller these days.
And thank you too, Your Highness. We greatly value your input as one of our sponsors.
Dang, it's kind of crazy because she's been missing for a whole game, but it feels a lot longer than that.
You're quite welcome. Please give the professor my regards.
I have a feeling my father and brother will be just as pleased with the results.
She must be like a foot freaking taller.
It is her!
Yeah, see?
Didn't expect to run into you here.
Swin, Nadia, it's been too long.
So long.
Miss Herschel, Professor Hamilton, a pleasure to see you again.
Again? When did they? Well, okay, it's not surprising that they're acquainted, but I'm more curious about when they would have met. Professor LaToya Hamilton.
Ah, Elaine. Good day to you.
That's LaToya Hamilton, one of Epstein's 3 disciples.
So, wait, you already know each other?
Of course they. Wait, but when would they have met though? Toa Herschel.
Elaine and I have known each other for some time now. We met when I was on assignment for NGO work.
Okay, so during that whole time period.
That's right. Her assistance at the time was invaluable.
Sounds like Toa.
I don't believe I've met your other companion, though.
How do you do, Miss Eau Claire? And hello to your friends as well.
Princess of Elsheim, Zita Oswald.
I am Jita Osval, daughter of Grand Prince Salman of Elsheim.
Jita, alright.
What a blessing it is to meet so many new people today.
The Princess of Elsheim?
You must be Crown Prince Sharid's younger sister. I recall seeing you at the racetrack the other day.
Though, I'm sure she's got people around and about, like, she's not just here completely unguarded.
It's an honor to formally make your acquaintance.
Oh, so you were there as well?
She should be a party member. I said that already, I'm pretty sure, but still.
I've heard many a story about Beauty's Blade, but it's nice to finally put a face to the name. My brother has much to thank you Bracers for.
It's really no trouble at all. The Guild appreciates his generous support.
So much support.
Oh, wow! A real-life princess! What a cutie patootie!
Do me a favor and behave for once.
Causing an international incident? Swin and Nadia, was it? It's clear that you're friends of Toa's. But you don't quite seem to be bracers. Well, there's a lot of people who don't quite seem to be bracers running around these days. They aren't. I've temporarily enlisted their help with a request is all. No need to give her the details, that's close enough. That's right! We started a new gig in Edith's acting Spriggans. Oh, well, hey. From missing cats to apocalyptic threats, S over here can handle anything. Right. Just S. Thanks for overselling it. And don't act like all the work goes to me. She's like, S here can wrap up an apocalypse and have everybody in bed by noon. And now I understand. You're Arkwright Solutions' interim replacements. I must say, the two of you make quite a distinctive pair. My brother has told me all about Arkwright Solutions, and you're filling in for them? How wonderful! Imagine that! I'm a little surprised to see you two in that line of work. Really? This is like the only thing they've ever done. It fell into our laps, more or less. Like this type of thing, not specifically being a Spriggan. You think you're surprised? What are you doing all this way from Erebonia, Toa? Let me guess. Is it the old NGO grind? Yeah, it's one I got to help out with after graduating Thor's, the International Cooperative Organization, which has probably been mentioned before, but hopefully she explains it again. Things are beginning to pick up with them again, and I have some other business to take care of in Calvert anyway. So I made the choice to relocate here at the start of the year. Oh, that checks out. The ICO, huh? Feels like they keep ramping up their visibility more each year. Yes, their group addresses all sorts of international challenges that local governments can't handle on their own. And there's been an increasing trend of those kinds of issues throughout the country recently. Even here in the capital, Miss Herschel has been hard at work in more fields of expertise than I can count. It's difficult to believe that her real job is teaching at an Imperial Military Academy. She's still She still got that job? I guess that's her main gig, but kind of... Oh, are they doing remote courses at Thor's now? Yep, she's one busy bee, all right. Or would she be able to There's no way. I mean, she has ways of getting transport other than, you know, the rail line and stuff like that, but she can't impose on Emma and people like that for a little quick trip every single day. How is she still working as a teacher? Oh, stop it. I don't do much at all, really. But enough about that. Back to this acting Spriggan business. How riveting. It has the air of something out of a movie or novel. I don't mean to impose, but would you mind telling me about the case you're currently working on? I don't know, she seems fairly shrewd. Like, she's not asking because she's curious. She's asking so she can gather more info. Like, from how Cherie described her, she seems very intelligent. Neither of us have a problem with it. But it's up to our client to decide how hush-hush we have to be. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to share a few details. Like, she's always asking people for more info. So Edith has been having orbital network problems. My brother told me about everything that happened in Basel last year as well. Things aren't bad enough to be an actual problem yet, but it's sketchy all the same. Would you happen to have any insight, Professor? As a matter of fact, I received a brief report about this courtesy of the Verne Company. Unfortunately, there isn't much I can add at this stage. But at the very least, I have confidence that you're on the right track. Nice! We got the prof's stamp of approval! Even the smallest crack can eventually grow into a chasm. Our lack of foresight with those nuclear devices last year led to tragedy, and what we're seeing now may be the early signs of something similar. It always is! All this to say, I appreciate you investigating the matter. Of course, if there's even a hint of a malicious agenda behind this, we'll root it out and nip it in the bud. Spoken like a true bracer. Maybe my hearing's going, but that didn't sound like a royal we to me. Nope, Nadia, you're fully a part of that. I'm sure Elaine could manage, but we'll be counting on you two to help her get to the bottom of this. Would that I could offer more than well wishes. Still, I look forward to hearing the tales of your exploits. And if there's anything at all we can do to help, don't hesitate to let us know. Thank you, Professor. We'll just excuse ourselves then. See you later! Well, that was fruitful. So now Gita has made her acquaintance to us. Also... but that seems to be... I mean, we're at Trion Tower. One of these is... Okay. There it is. We were gonna find...
Hey, I think we've hit up all the spots worth visiting.
Then I suggest we head for the tower.
Oh, the main event.
It's a cutting-edge piece of orbital technology.
How do we need to buy a ticket or something? Are you done sightseeing around the tower? Yeah, we've had our fill. So now that we've taken a turn around Trion Mall, what are your thoughts? It's got a good vibe for people our age, and there's plenty of family-friendly spots too. Plus, it'd make a halfway decent date spot. I give it 4 stars. She wasn't asking for a review. Did you already forget while we're here? Who, me? No way! My clue radar just never went off, that's all. I kept an eye out myself, but didn't notice anything out of the ordinary either. What about you, Swin? The same as you two. Nothing special. I see. That just leaves the tower itself, then. As much as I'd like to be all, woohoo, let's go! This is the part where we have to start talking or taking things seriously, huh? The observation deck is open to the general public, but any orbital network facilities will be located elsewhere. I should be able to get us permission to investigate on that front, being Beauty's Blade has its perks. But we may want to see what the staff can tell us first. Makes sense to me. Break a leg, Blade Lady! We'll be waiting right here for you! You aren't coming? You'll get used to Nadia's little jokes. Talking things out will probably go a lot smoother without us. Trust me, we'd only get in your way. Well, alright. Make yourselves comfortable then. I'll go speak with the relevant employees and circle back. Probably because they have... Oh, we're not going with Elaine! Alone at last! You know what that means, S? Time for a dating montage! Let's take a rain check on that. There's something else I'm curious about. I really like their dynamic. She's so put out. Whoa. Hey, there you are. Welcome back. You're by yourself? Where's Swin? I sent him on a little errand, but he should be back real soon. Oh, speak of the devil. Hey, S. That was quick. Find anything out? Unfortunately not. I spoke with security, but no one saw any suspicious persons enter or leave the building. The communications facilities and equipment aren't much different. Nothing unusual has been reported at all during their periodic inspections, so maybe Swin and Nadia have found something then? So we're fresh out of leads. Oh, I guess not. On the surface, yes. But that may change if we can examine the main control systems directly. And where are those located? We're not about to get Trion Towers a dungeon right here, right now, are we? Seems a bit early for that. That's why I took the liberty of getting us clearance. This is your area of expertise, right, Nadia? You really do your homework, huh? But you know, there is one other thing we can try. There is? You all done, Nadia? Just about. The comparison results should be popping up any second now. Results for what, exactly? Operation Robovac Trackdown! So we're using the Robovacs to our advantage some kind of way. I beg your pardon? Our perpetrator is among them! How can she be so sure? They are? Probably. Well, hey. I think you've tried her patience enough. Just give it to her straight already. Fine, fine. First, let me redirect your attention to one of the many mecha janitors roaming around us. At the risk of repeating myself, those automated cleaning machines operate exclusively in the 3rd District. They were brought in on a trial basis by Valis Investment Bank, one of Trion Tower's biggest sponsors. Right, but we reached out to Toa, who got in touch with Professor Hamilton. And she gave us the Robovac spec sheets, plus the source code for their main systems. Wow, just like that? Okay. No questions asked? Just goes to show, connections are everything. And I really don't think it's possible to be more well-connected than a Trails protagonist. You know literally everybody. I'm surprised Professor Hamilton would authorize that, right? That seems... No questions asked? That seems kind of crazy. It turns out her offering to help wasn't just to be polite. Yeah, sweet old ladies like her are the best. So, now we just use that data to analyze the Robovac's behavioral routines, adjust for the area's cartographic info, along with the active unit count and time frame, and presto, a complete map of every Robovac's pathing route. I didn't even realize that was possible. Well, only because we had all the other parameters first. Besides, these calculations tell us where they're supposed to go, not where they actually went. That's where S came in clutch. So that's what he was doing, tracking them. I went around attaching transmitters to any Robovacs that were nearby. Obviously, there was no way I could get every single one, and especially not in that small time frame. But lucky for us, they can detect and coordinate with any friends of theirs nearby. So as long as enough units are being tracked, we can get a beat on pretty much all of them. Now, if I take the expected routes from earlier and cross-reference them with the ones on record, would you look at that? Some of them don't line up. Meaning, they were hacked? Maybe by the same people who got into the Merhia and Garten? Which apparently means fairy tale and not war. Bingo! There are security checks for people going in and out of Trion Tower. So how did... Oh, that... Because I was wondering, do they have any kind of identification? Maybe that's why they couldn't get in. But they'd have no reason to suspect a cleaning machine they themselves are using. That makes the Robovacs a safe and reliable means of getting close to the tower's control systems. As for why nothing turned up in their inspections, the virus used to infect the network is probably self-destructing. In other words, after it does its thing, it removes any trace that it was ever there. Then, after the inspections are over, the perpetrator hacks a different robot and the cycle starts all over, which means they would have to be pretty attentive, maybe still in this area in order to do their work. That way, they can exploit part of Trion Tower's control systems to commit the cybercrimes with no one the wiser. Wow, yeah, Elaine is like, these people are next level. The pieces do seem to align. I have to say, I'm impressed you were able to put all of this together, Nadia. Though Swin deserves some credit as well for noticing something was off with the Robovacs in the first place. You could tell it was me, and you call us impressive. Yeah, you're pretty quick on the uptake. They wouldn't have made an maybe A rank otherwise. Would you mind walking me through your thought process? Well, if you really want to know, what tipped me off was the strange way some of the Robovacs were behaving. Was it strange? They seemed to just be moving at random. The routes they were taking felt less than optimal from a cleaning perspective. It was like they were trying to avoid being spotted, or keep a low profile in case that they couldn't. As someone who's used to staying under the radar, I tend to pick up on this kind of thing. So I see. Incidentally, have you two ever given any thought to becoming bracers? They would be excellent at it. Is that an invitation? It is. The guild is always short-staffed. Our branch in Edith is especially in need now that fees return to Erebonia. And you wouldn't be the first people with a complicated past to register with us. It's surprisingly common, in fact. Well, as tempting as that offer sounds... No way, Jose! The guild burns their members out like a box of matches. These jokers, like, one of the first things you ever learn about the guild is how short-staffed they are. You're walking around and being instantly put to work everywhere you go. You have to be, yeah, it takes a certain kind of person to be a bracer, and that's why there aren't very many of them. And don't get me started on your working hours on 24/7. Like, if you're on break and somebody's being actively robbed, are you going to call the cops? No, you're going to bust out your weapon and hop in. I need to save all that room in my planner for back-to-back siestas. Yep, a lazy life of leisure is the only one for me. And there's your answer. Well, no shame in trying. And then she's like, Toval. Oh, I spy something on the move. Another Robovac straight off its expected route. Can you say hacked? It just went in the tower through the back door, probably to launch another viral attack. Then we better launch an attack of our own. Right, catching up to it should give us a clue as to who's responsible for this. It's headed through the observation deck. Onward and upward. Oh, okay, I guess they do have some kind of identification if they can get in. So, who are we battling? Trion Tower observation deck. Here's the observation deck. Too bad we can't just kick our feet up.
The Robovac should be past this door here. Looks like it went to the control room at the top of the stairs. Let's move in then. I've already received permission from security. Right.
Beep, beep. Beep, beep.
Oh, I was like, who's doing that? But give me 1 second. You know, I actually would have previously said that it kind of sucks that we can't walk around, but thanks to the new UI overhaul, we know we're not missing anything at that vending machine that's over there. Let's climb the stairs and enter the control room. For whatever awaits us. Yep. All these things do is malfunction and try to kill people. Over there. I think it noticed us. We're blocking the only exit. There's nowhere to run. How did it... Well, I'm sure nobody would really bat an eyelash if one of these things came inside, so it's not that weird. Shoot! It's gonna ram itself into the servers and corrupt the data! Not on my watch. Did she disable its... Oh, she disabled its everything. You slashed out its legs faster than I could say holy moly! I barely even had time to blink. Less gawking, more investigating. The culprit is bound to have realized what happened by now. Got it! What the... I think we're out of luck. It already hit the self-destruct. What? How? The hacking program's already started the auto-deletion process. And without better hardware, I won't have time to trace the signal back to the perp. And at this rate, every last bit of data is gonna get wiped. I was afraid of that. This sucks. Everything past this point is out of my depth. So we have to go to a certain someone. If Ren were here, she'd know what to do. We could send for more personnel and better equipment, but it'd be too little too late. We finally found a lead and it's slipping right through our fingers.
It appears you're in something of a fix.
Well, hey, Hamilton did send over the specs for what we were doing. I'm sure she didn't, like, she knew to come over. Oh, and she brought everybody. Professor Hamilton? What are all of you doing here? It was Her Highness's suggestion, actually. You see, I was simply beside myself with curiosity after learning what you were up to. She's infinitely curious about a lot of goings-on here. Your call earlier suggested that you'd found some sort of clue in how those cleaning robots are acting. And since the network outages you're investigating are taking place all throughout the city, it stood to reason that you would head to the control room of this tower, where Edith's orbital traffic comes through. You act like it's no big deal, but that's some top-tier sleuthing there. In any event, it would seem we made the right choice in coming. Nadia, why don't you try hacking in from your end? Huh? But It'll be fine, dear. Go right ahead. She created the whole thing. If anybody could give permission, it's Hamilton. We don't have Mare to send in, so... Still the same visualization process that Van has. What do I do now? It'll be tough going if you jump in unprepared. So allow me to lend you this. Oh! It's a Theo. Oh, how adorable. What a peculiar shape. Where have I seen it before? Where indeed? I guess she would have a particular inclination towards this design, I guess. While this avatar is borrowed, it contains hacking tools made specifically for orbital networking environments. It should be more than manageable for someone of your ability. Ooh, color me impressed. Okay, here goes nothing. Are we gonna play the same? We do play the same mini game. All right. So, is it the same Dange? No, it seems fairly straightforward. Oh, whoop.
Nah. We're not supposed to check none of that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Whoo!
Code under analysis. Error.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Reattempting infiltration.
It's crazy. What happens if we fail? It'll probably just immediately launch us back in, but getting touched once and everything being over is crazy. Alright, so this should save us a little bit.
Analyzing code. Security clear.
In we go. Alright, we've got less than a minute left. Nope, not about to get us this time. They make you spend that time currency. Uh-oh. Whoo! So we aren't in the best, possible position. Oh, no, I think that's good. Neat.
Analyzing code.
There we go.
Clear.
Is that it?
Mission accomplished.
Golden! Wow, that works out. Earned 1 SP. Got him. Mission complete. Oh, I feel like if we failed that, we wouldn't, it would allow us to reattempt, but we wouldn't have gotten the, no. Because you having to get it right the first time around seems kind of, maybe it lets you retry with no defenders in there or something. Oh well, hopefully we don't find out what happens for a very long time. You managed to trace the signal back? All in a day's work for yours truly. Though I couldn't have done it without that cute little Abby and its tools. Thanks a bundle, Prof. I'm just glad it worked out in the end. So now you know where the culprit is, right? Yep, there were several layers of dummy data to throw me off, but I made it through eventually. The coordinates of whoever's been hacking the Robovacs and who's been messing with Edith's orbital network are right here. Where is here exactly? It appears to be just shy of the city's unofficial 13th district, otherwise known as the Blacklight District. Oh, we did end up there eventually. Thinking back, this reminds me of something Jin mentioned. Supposedly, there's a desolate corner of the district where air is so stagnant and even its residents rarely step foot inside. So there's a secret section to the Blacklight District? They call it the Condemned Sector. Yeah, that's fishy with a capital F. I mean, what better place to hole up if you're looking to get some evil doing done when the Blacklight District itself just won't do? Though, there seem to be a lot of regular people just milling around down there too. We'll just have to go down there and see what we find. I'm afraid the rest of us won't be of much help from here on. Toa can fight pretty well. But I have faith that the three of you will be able to handle things just fine. Take care, everyone! Be safe, okay? We will. Thank you again for your assistance. See you around, Toa! Ooh, if you're staying in Edith, it's only a matter of time before we run into each other again. Sorry to interrupt, but would you mind if I accompanied you to this condemned sector? She wants to go ahead and see everything she can, but yes, it would be cool, though she's definitely just going to be a guest in the party. I don't think that's a good idea, but this is going to be our one and only shot because there's also a chance she'll actually help fight. But Sharit has told me much of his first-hand experiences with Arkwright Solutions escapades, and she wants some of her own. If you're substituting for them, it only follows that I should take the place of my brother. Would that not be the natural course of things? That's a pretty big stretch, right? Not to mention, when I see the two of you interact, it feels as if I'm among old friends. What I mean to say is, you're the spitting image of the protagonists in my favorite book series. Uh-oh! Has she read 3 and 9? Your favorite book series? Yes! It follows a young assassin and the girl he calls his partner in their quest to defy fate. I highly recommend it. She is talking about 3 and 9. The books themselves, all the books we read, actually do exist in universe. They know exactly what she's talking about. While I understand how you feel, Your Highness, I'm afraid I can't allow this. Elaine! The Blacklight District is lawless as is, to say nothing of this condemned sector. We have no way of predicting what dangers might be lying in wait down there. Doesn't she have bodyguards? Where are they at? I thought as much. It's disappointing to be certain, but I won't protest any further. Even if I had a bodyguard, there's no denying that I would only get in your way. Is there a reason she doesn't have a bodyguard? Would that I could have borrowed Najee from my brother beforehand. Then it'd be a different story. Sharid can fight, he can defend himself, but obviously he still has Najee. Anyway, just leave it to us for now. We'll tell you all about our daring do next time we meet up, okay? I'll be waiting with bated breath. May Arusha's protection be with you. Dang. Soon, though. Hey, hey! Just popping in with an update from Marduk support. Further analysis has revealed a new floor of the Marian Garten, so check it out when you get a chance, okay? Yep, and back in Reverie, this would have been around the time that the mirror would have started reacting. So, we will check that out. A second floor has been added to the Marian Garten. But
what a view!
Look at all those teeny tiny people down there. They're like ants beneath our feet.
And the award for least intimidating villain laugh goes to...
And it wasn't a vending machine.
Hi there. Come again.
Good old Dennis, but this is some prime real estate for a Trion Tower. There's still something down here, or up here, I guess. I guess let's go ahead and go downstairs. Yeah. We do want to check Trion Mall out in full. What is this?
Let's see here.
A 4SPG has been posted. T-phone fraud. Someone approached me at the Trion Mall a few weeks ago and asked if I was interested in buying a super cheap T-phone. I said yes, of course. But then I found out it was all a scam. Please tell me you can do something about this. I'll be waiting at the bulletin board in front of Trion Tower just in case. Wow. But, I mean, it's not that. Oh, okay, I'm like, it didn't disappear, but bro wants his money back. Are you Ned? We saw your 4SPG. Oh, then you must be the Spriggan I've been hearing about. That's right. Although we're actually just filling in for the real one for a bit. Huh. I'll be honest, I was expecting someone a little more shady looking. Glad you're not, though. But you... Have I seen you somewhere before, miss? Don't mind me. I'm not actually a Spriggan. I just lend them a hand every now and then. Anyway, would you mind explaining your request in a little more detail? Oh yeah, sorry, let me explain. I guess to put it simply, I was swindled out of Mira. Some guys came up to me saying they had cheap T-phones on sale with just a few stipulations. T-phones? Those are the consumer-grade versions of Zyphas that act as mobile terminals, right? Didn't they start selling them this year? That's right! They've been all the rage since they went on sale! It's supposed to be a top-of-the-line gadget! Well, sooner or later they'll just be standard run-of-the-mill things, but... Up until now, mobile terminals have only been available to people like government officials or people in the guilds or the military. Yeah, sounds like the old brick cell phones. But now, even your average Joe can get one! It's like we're stepping into a whole new era! A T-phone is like a status symbol. If you manage to bag one, the whole world will know how classy you are. You sure are passionate about them. Guys get psyched up about the weirdest things. Well, anyway, that's why I was so excited to head to the Vern store to pick one up. But a single T-phone is pretty expensive. They're like 20,000 Mira. Holy crap. We'd have to do several jobs to pay for one of those. That's way out of my price range, so I was starting to feel pretty bummed.
Then, when I left the store, these two guys approached me. They showed me flyers for cheap T-phones and said they could hook me up with one for $5,000 with only a few stipulations. When I asked if they could tell me more, they took me to a nearby cafe to talk. So someone came along at just the right time and talked you into what you thought was a good deal. But what were these stipulations you mentioned? Well, the first thing they said was that even though these cheaper T-phones were official products, they got them from a problematic source. They were supposed to be distributed to the members of some institution, but these guys ended up getting them on the down low. On the down low? So what you're saying is they were sold illegally. Sounds like a deep-seated issue if that's the case. Right. She just knows this is going to be more of a headache for her over at the guild in the future. Yeah, but despite that, they told me not to worry because it was all a gray area. But if it did happen to get out to the police or the guild, they would have to stop selling them. So he's doing the big snitch. So they told me to keep the truth between us. They also told me that if it happened to break on me, I couldn't take it to an official dealer. Those were the two main stipulations they had. They wanted me to sign a contract and everything. Would that contract be anything remotely close to legally enforceable? I see. If there really was a gray area, you'd think they'd be a little less hush-hush about it. It definitely sounds suspicious. I'm guessing you ended up signing anyway. Yeah, I was told they only had a limited supply and they were on a first-come, first-served basis. I panicked, you know? But the real problem was what happened next. The T-phone they sold me doesn't even work! It's a complete piece of junk! It doesn't have the camera functionality it's supposed to, and I can't even get a call to connect properly. I see. The very model of a scam. I mean, I do feel a little sorry for you, but you kind of brought this on yourself. So, what do you want us to do about these scam artists? Does he want us to take them in? The thought of them getting away with this while I wallow in despair is a big bruise to my ego. And while I do want them to get raked over the coals for this, I really just want you to get all my mirror back. I think you'd get both of your wishes if you reported this to the police. And yet you decided to put out a 4SPG request instead. I know what you're trying to say. I get that it's selfish of me. Here I am wanting to get them back for swindling me, yet I'm not willing to accept the consequences of my own mistakes. I don't see why it'd be such a big deal. Everybody looks out for number one in the end, right? Okay, so yes, this time, there's not a reason why. He's just being really selfish. Except for me, because I always put S first no matter what. Oh wait, though. Now that we've added a certain doll to the rankings... Oh, brother. Getting back to the matter at hand, this certainly sounds like a request that leans more toward the edge of the law. So, what would the substitute Spriggans like to do about it? I don't mind taking on the job, but... what to do? Definitely gonna up our chaos. Alright, I understand. We'll take the case. But as far as giving them grief goes, that'll depend on their response to us. You mean it? Oh, thank you! Well, with that settled, I guess I'd better drum up what little motivation I have. So, do you still have the flyer you said they gave you? I've got the T-phone at least. Here, you'll probably need it. I wish I had the flyer, but I actually ended up throwing it away. Well, if it comes to it, I can see us digging through the trash for that. Well, the first thing to do is gather some intel on these guys. Right. They don't seem to be in the area right now, so we should be able to ask around without worrying we'll scare them off. In that case, why don't we head to the Vern store and see if anyone's seen a pair of scammers around? Maybe we should check in with some of the neighboring shops too, to make sure that those guys aren't selling brand name knockoffs of other products, right? Exactly! You're so smart, S, but you're the one who came up with the plan. It's important that we get a good idea of how widespread their operation is first. Although it's likely they're not doing this with anything other than T-phones. It's just because the,
being able to get a T-phone at a fourth of the price, especially when a fourth of the price is so significant. If we're worried about other potential knockoffs, the Liberal Boutique seems like it'd be a likely target. Liberal Boutique? After all, they're set to stock a famous wine from Liberal, the Grand Chardonnay. A single bottle can get pretty expensive depending on the year. Definitely a callback to a previous request. I see. Guess we better get started then. How did I go into a Liberal Boutique but not realize that's where we were at? It's probably for the best that we don't tell people we're investigating swindlers, though. Don't want to cause unnecessary panic. Let's just stick to asking if they know anything about the cheap T-phones. Alright, I'll wait around outside the mall until you guys reach out. Don't want to risk running into them again, you know? Sure, we'll let you know what we find.
Let's wrap this up quickly.
To the Liberal Boutique we go! Vern store.
Trion Tower?
Is this also the Liberal Boutique? No, the Liberal Boutique is over there? Oh, okay, it's down on this level. Oh, check that out.
Welcome to the Trion Mall.
Neat.
Here you'll find Trion.
The Liberal Boutique. They deal in specialty goods and souvenirs from the Liberal Kingdom.
I've never been to a place like this before. Whoa! Is that a model of the original Arcee?
Wow-wee! That's a lot of acerbic tomatoes!
Oh my gosh. So this is not the first time that this has happened. Like, Randy's not GF. Her name was pronounced Mireille, and then they switched to Mireille, which it should be. Then this thing, it was pronounced the Arcee. I don't remember when. I know I heard it though. It definitely was. But now it's the Arcee, like it obviously should be. Oh my gosh. So I've been calling it the Arcee because, you know, they were mispronouncing it before.
All our products are shipped directly from Liberal.
We must not have been able to come in here before. Blue vacuum flask. Wait, gift for Van? We can give Van things now? Acerbic tomato soda. Oh, yes. When something contains acerbic tomato, you know it's good. That's not what I'm trying to do.
Opening planner.
There it is.
Gotta treat myself every now and then.
Oh, Van is basically gifting himself, but that's... And he's only got 4 connection stages. Oh, okay. Because I'm not sure if there are going to be hangouts in this game, but in the previous game, Van also got points when he did hangouts. But I guess now if there are hangouts, Van himself won't get points for them. But yes, we must not have been able to come in here earlier. The mall has a lot of shops carrying high-end goods. We should check and see if any of them are experiencing a scam similar to the one with the T-phones. Sorry, but could we bother you for a moment? Swin and the others told the clerk about the cheap T-phones, then asked if she'd seen anything similar happening with other products. Unfortunately, I don't believe I know much about cheap T-phones. And I haven't heard anything regarding scams on high-end products either. The only product of ours that would be a potential target is our Grand Chardonnay. I don't think we've had any complaints or returns though. I doubt we have any reason to worry there. Huh. A blue-haired girl named Lila working in the Liberal Boutique. Must be a reference. Sounds like this store isn't being targeted then. Yeah, a swing and a miss. But for a silver lining, I guess now we know that there's only one shop that's having issues. Well, now that I think about it, there has been one thing I found concerning. Recently, I've seen a couple of men posting flyers out in front of our store. Oh, that is valuable information. It all just seems a little suspicious. I notice them sometimes on my lunch break. Can you give us any more details about them? I started seeing the two of them around at the beginning of the year. I haven't seen them today, but they're here pretty much every day from afternoon until evening. I often see the two of them discussing something while snooping around by the Vern store. So, are these going to be two nondescript baddies, or is it going to be like the brothers over in Basel? They seem to be handing out their flyers to people on their way out. I assume they've been discussing who to target before they leave the store. Huh. That's actually some really useful information. Wow, you sure are pretty observant for having caught all that. I don't think your average person would think twice about what some guys handing out flyers are up to. Wait, is this not just a reference? On top of that, you're so refined and well-spoken, but not quite as stuffy as an aristocrat. It's not a reference! Is that actually Lila? Being so detail-oriented, it almost makes me think you used to work as a maid at someplace super fancy. Nadia knows, but why is she here? I mean, it is kind of a, because honestly, it was kind of a, I'm glad she's found a new line of work. That's what I'm gonna say. Do you always have to do that? Right, like, obviously they've done their, I don't think this was a cold read. I think they just know who that is. You're very perceptive. If you're capable of deducing all of that, I assume you must be no ordinary customer either. Why is she here? That's right. When a mystery presents itself, I've got no choice but to solve it. It's all part of my detective saga. Who do you think you're fooling? It's no problem. It's not as though I'm looking to hide it from anyone. When I used to live in Liberl, I worked in a city called Bose that was famous for its commerce. Why? This is so random! While there, I was a maid for a gentlewoman who supported me quite graciously. In fact, opening up this shop was her idea in the first place. So is she here or is she still running things over in Bose? Oh, really? It sounds like the person she's referring to isn't just any noblewoman. Now that I think about it, isn't the mayor of Bose a young woman? I've never been to Liberl before. Maybe I'll think about taking a trip soon. We're all taking a trip to Liberl real soon. I think I've got about 5 months before my trip to Liberl. We'll see how that pans out. Oh yes, if you have the opportunity, please do. I think it will make for a lovely holiday getaway. We'd better move on to our next stop, S. Right. Interesting. But yes, it's way better because her deciding to just stay on as a maid at the end of everything, I don't know. I think her running this store is a lot better. It's a lot better of an end for her. She looks like, she kind of looks like Patiri. But we know she's off and on, she's still over in whatchamacallit doing the whatever it was.
Drop by the Vern store.
Okay, whew, took a second to figure out where to go again, but it's all good. All right, well, let's talk to Kaina first.
One sec.
I think she was mentioned in those Spriggan notes Van left with us. Was she? Must be the one he knows from that incident in Cray Village. Oh, right. There were two people who have been mentioned from the Cray Village incident. I think we even ran into her when we were there last. We're substitute Spriggans. We just have a few questions. Swin and the others told her? Cheap T-phones? Sorry, but I haven't heard anything about that. I've never really heard any of the other employees mention it either, so I doubt they'll know anything. We have a pretty good view of the area from the shop too, but I've never seen anybody putting up flyers or anything like that. You don't say. Sounds like they're being extra careful so they don't get caught. Guess that means they're not amateurs. What about T-phones that don't work? Heard anything about that? Oh, I actually have heard of that recently. That's a bit concerning. Would you care to elaborate? T-phones that, okay, by T-phones that don't work, that's definitely something separate from T-phones that need repairing. Well, I guess it's not really that big of a deal, right? Because I'm sure her old job is dealing with T-phones that don't work. For most people, the T-phone is their first mobile terminal. And it's already such a robust piece of tech.
A lot of them can't figure out how to use them correctly or have trouble adjusting their settings. They'll come in and say it's broken. Most of the time, they just need a little walkthrough on how to use it. Then they're on their way. Even if their T-phone was actually broken, we'd be able to repair it here in the store. I see. In that case, would you mind taking a look at this T-phone for us? Of course. Let's have a look-see. So is this... Huh? What is going on with this thing? So I'm sure it's just junk inside. Did you find what's causing the problem? Well, this is actually the first time I've ever seen anything like this. The outer frame is the same as any other T-phone, but the insides are totally different. It's not a T-phone or a Zypha at all. It's an Enigma? They put an Enigma inside of a T-phone? Wow, dude. It's like, holy crap. Now that's a scam. Looks like it's had all its combat functions removed. All that's left are the communication functions. They gutted an Enigma and put it inside of a T-phone. I don't remember Enigmas having communications functionality, but Arcus units could make phone calls, and Cold Steel 1 was happening around the same time that Azure was going on, I believe. Or Zero, I think. But either way, they were happening simultaneously, and there's no way that that the Arcus would be less robust than the Enigma, so I guess I just don't remember that. But geez, dude. An Enigma? I haven't heard that name in a while. I remember them being pretty mainstream 5 or so years ago. Oh, how times have changed. Right. It ain't 1204 anymore. Even if it does have communication functions, there's no doubt it'd be difficult for it to connect to today's orbital network. And since it doesn't have the camera functionality, it's practically nothing compared to an actual T-phone. Our client said something similar too, that this T-phone was a piece of junk. Jeez. And remember, we were so hyped at the beginning of Azure to get our hands on an Enigma, the very first named combat orbment. With the Enigma being such an outdated model, they're probably selling for cheap on the black market. So they dressed them up to look like T-phones and started selling them at a lower price. I don't think I quite understand what's going on, but it definitely sounds like bad news. I should probably go report this to my manager. Actually, sorry to ask this of you, but do you mind keeping this between us until we can finish investigating? We can't really give you anything in exchange, but I promise we'll report back once we've got everything straightened out. After that, you can tell anyone and everyone you want. Alright, I guess I don't mind. I am at least a little familiar with how a Spriggan works. Thank you, Van. You've been real kind to Lashkar too, so I think I can trust you guys. When have they interacted with Lashkar? Though I guess at this point in time, he's definitely, I would be surprised if they're not basically big sister, little brother by this point. Because, I mean, the thing they went through, it kind of bonds you, doesn't it? We really appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for being so understanding. Just give us a bit and we'll be back with a full report, okay? Of course. I'll leave you to it then. So, what's our plan now? I think we still need some more intel. Let's see if we can find someone who might know about those two scam artists. So that's the little family over there. They've probably been approached by them.
One sec.
Yeah, getting 2 T-phones would be a lot. This lady seems really taken in by this stuff. Guess she's really into orbital hardware. I'll bet she knows something. Excuse me, miss. Do you mind if we ask you a few questions? Nadia and the others, yep. Maybe she means like the ones that were on that paper, Mom. Oh, you mean the flyer we got after we left the Vern store? These 2 men came up to us out of nowhere and started trying to sell us on something. You got a flyer? Is there a chance you still have it on you? No, I tore it up after copying their info down. They kept going on and on about how there was a reason they were able to get their T-phones so cheap. I thought it was a little too suspicious. I refused their offer before they could explain any further. It's too bad about the flyer, but that was probably the smart thing to do. Is there anything else you can remember about them? Now that you mention it, they did seem a bit worried about something when we left. Something about not meeting today's quota and her being upset with them. Oh, so a little clue as to the ringleader of this operation. A quota and her, huh? This could be useful information. So we have two men passing out flyers and trying to talk people into buying these T-phones. And some authority figure they refer to as her. Thank you both! You've been a big help! It was no problem at all. I hope you all find what you're looking for. Well, with that, we're about to. Okay, I think we've got all the info we need. Let's go find a place to sort through the details. Aye aye, Captain! Hopefully it gives us the opportunity to save first. Uh-oh, well, whew, we sure did talk to lots of people today. What a productive day. Alright, why don't we pick this up tomorrow and go catch a movie? Another movie? I wouldn't say no to that. Let's throw work to the curb and get a little guilty pleasure in for once. You've sure got an interesting sense of humor. Elaine is like in your freaking dreams. Hey, your mouth says interesting, but your eyes say I am not amused. That's enough goofing off, I think. We should start going over everything we've learned so far. To start, we know that the two men who were handing out flyers have been spotted between afternoon and evening. We also know that they were specifically targeting customers they saw expressing interest in T-phones. Whoops! Almost said the other thing! Then they would sweet-talk them into purchasing a cheap T-phone, as well as signing their contract. However, the phones themselves are fakes. They're really just modified enigmas. Oh, and also, didn't they say something about that? No. No, the enigmas, I think, were developed? No, I think I'm confusing the fact that you start off near Calvard and Azure with the origins of the enigma, which I do not remember. We're probably going to have to make contact with her sooner or later. Yes, I agree. Which raises the question of how we're supposed to do that. I know we have one good option. I'm a little reluctant to go down that route, using ourselves as bait. I don't think there's any getting around it, ass. Did you two have something in mind? I'm glad you asked. I recommend we deploy Nana in SS Operation Number 18, ma'am, using a decoy to lure the perp out. I see. That would be a good way to probe them for answers. I don't mind doing it if we really have to. It's just... You know how rusty I am, so try to keep the premise from getting too elaborate, okay? Right. It's a callback. This is how 3 and 9 opens up, with them running a similar ruse. Your request has been acknowledged. In fact, I've already got a plan. Blade Lady, you'll be our backup, so I want you waiting in the wings not too far away. As for US... Oh, maybe we should get some new outfits from that shop over there? I'll put together a look that'll really bring out your eyes. Considering we don't know when the targets will arrive, I don't think we have time to waste shopping. Oh, S, you're no fun. Should I really be letting them handle this on their own? You're about to see the magic happen, Elaine. After that, Swin and the others found an appropriate place to wait for the two men to show up. Then, after 10 minutes or so... I'm so happy! It's been far too long since you and I have been on a date, hasn't it? So, what are you going to buy me today, darling? And it looks like that dude in the back eyeballing them is probably our perp, or one half of our perps, plural. This is no time to be embarrassed, Swin. Right now, you just need to focus on getting our targets to believe we're a real couple. Well, since the company my father manages is doing so well, I think a little splurging can be arranged. He increased my allowance recently, so I figured, why shouldn't I buy something extra special for my honey bunny? Ooh, that sounds exciting! What are you thinking of getting me? It's something that's been on my mind for a while, actually. Wouldn't it be nice if we could talk to each other anytime we wanted? That's why I'm buying us both T-phones. Yay! Oh, darling, you're the sweetest! I have more than a few concerns, but they seem to be doing okay so far. Welcome! Are you shopping for T-phones today? Yes, my girlfriend and I would like to buy a pair. Let's just have a look at the price tag here and... 20,000 mira each! That's 40,000 mira for both of us. It would use up every bit of my allowance. What? You mean you're not going to buy me a T-phone, darling? I was so excited about it too. I should have known better than to expect you to live up to your word. Wait, I promise I'll get you one. Honest. Maybe I can pay in installments? Is that an option? Why, of course, sir. Installments? Like some kind of poor person? Come on, darling. I thought you were cooler than that. I would like to think that was actually a pretty expert pivot on Nadia's part. Because if she says yes, we actually can't accommodate you, they need a reason to not do it. Huh? Oh, I'm in a real fix now. Oh no, it was this guy. Well, he thinks he's found a mark. Hey, there's a young couple checking out the T-phone section. What are they like? Easy pickings is putting it lightly. They wanted to buy a set of T-phones, but looks like they couldn't afford it. Want to start with them for today? Aw, and I was so excited too. You break all your promises. I don't want to go on any more dates if you're just going to lie to me. I'm sorry, honey bunny. Please don't say things like that. I'll get some more allowance from my father the next time he's in a good mood. I swear. My, what a lovely young couple you are. I think we might just have some info to share that'll pique your interest. Well, this is very sudden. What kind of info? And one of those flyers. What's this? Cheap T-phones now on sale. They're all the rage. That's right. We're offering them at a highly discounted rate to specific customers only. While one of these incredible devices would normally cost you 20,000 mira, we can offer you the same product for a lowly 5,000 mira. It's almost too good to be true. 5,000 mira! No way. They have to be used or defective, right? Not at all. These are genuine brand new merchandise lying through his freaking teeth. However, there is a reason we're able to offer them so cheaply. We'd be happy to explain it to you over tea if you'd like. What do you say? Just between us, our supply is limited and our inventory is running pretty low. I don't know if you'll get another chance like this. Oh, how lucky for us! Let's listen to what they have to say, darling. Yes, I suppose we should. Looks like they've made contact. Keep it up, you two. Anyway, that's the long and short of it. Even though our source is a little in the gray area, it's all completely safe and above board. The only issue we've been having is trying to keep up with demand. Personally, I think it'd be a real waste to let this opportunity slide. So, you interested? We really should buy them, darling. Like he said, there's a limited supply. Having to sign a contract does make me a little nervous, though. Don't worry, it's not your average contract with all their bells and whistles. The only thing you have to do is keep this all a secret. I can't believe they're this cheap and you still won't buy them. You're such a wuss. Fine, I've made up my mind. We'll take 2 of them. Wait, actually, we'll take 4 more. We need them for my honey bunny's friends too. That's 6 in total. Oh my gosh, these guys are salivating. Nadia, it took her by surprise too. Maybe, I would like to think that that was a real pivot on Swin's part this time. Are you serious? Of course I'm serious. That's 30,000 Mira, and I insist on paying in cash. Oh, you really are the best, darling. I love it when you get all spend happy. This is great. That'll make our quota for today. Once we get the contract signed, let's head back and report this to the boss. And of course, he's preying on their greed. Soon after, Swin signed the contract they provided and received 6 T-phones in return. Upon saying a quick farewell, the 2 men left Quincy Parlor. I'll go tail them. You 2 handle the rest, as discussed. Oh! So now Elaine gets in on the action then. Right. Thanks, Elaine. Seems like they bought it. I'm definitely out of practice. Well, I thought you were as good as you've ever been. You just need a bit more time in the field. Maybe another couple of dates will fix you up, darling. Please, stop. I thought I was gonna keel over in embarrassment. Anyway, let's get to inspecting these T-phones. Couldn't you wait just a little longer to switch into work mode? You're right, though. We should be sure these are the same scam T-phones that the client bought. I do like that they're in different casings. That's a little extra bit of effort I wasn't expecting. If I remember correctly, the lady at the Vern store turned this part like this, and he saw it once and he was able to mimic it. If the insides look like what we saw back then, we'll know these are enigmas too. Looks like he was right. The client was telling the truth after all. Yeah, let's find Elaine and see if we can catch those guys. Swin and Nadia left Quincy Parlor and reached out to Elaine. Oh! No, we only got 1 SP for the thing, so there must be a following minigame. They let her know that the T-phones really were fakes made using enigmas. Elaine explained that she was still in the process of tailing the 2 men. With a plan to meet up, Swin and Nadia boarded the subway and headed toward the Tyrell district. Oh, well, that's not... Then how do we get our missing SP? I see you made it. No, I'm thinking of oh my gosh, I'm still thinking of the main quest. I see you made it. The men are over there. They were whispering about meeting their quota and going back to report to their boss. I was sure they'd be heading back to their hideout. Yeah, and standing out in the open sure isn't much of a hideout. I guess that means we've got to keep following them. Please don't tell me you're going to start complaining again. We've still got work to do. You'll have plenty of time to rest later. You 2 are so pushy. They're on the move. Let's head after them. So where are they going to access the blacklight? No, we're doing it as Nadia. If you get too close to the targets, they will notice you. All right.
Seek out never-before-seen treasures as the curtain unfolds on an all-new adventure.
I mean,
The
seems
Adventures
easy
of
enough.
Rockford.
So I guess we just do it as whoever our lead character is. Found. Wait, what? Why is our found gauge going up? They're certainly moseying along.
Now playing at a theater.
Uh-oh.
Take wing and soar above the court.
But we don't know when the next spot's going to be, so let's just run up on them. Aha!
What news?
So far, so easy.
We embarked on a journey to reclaim what was rightfully ours.
Nope, can we make it to...
I've got some delicious ice cream.
What the heck?
Now playing.
Ugh. I can't believe that worked. Okay.
It's kind of tough to anticipate where these things are going to be. Uh-oh. All right, so they're turning a corner, and now our lost gauge is about to start spiking. Nope. Shouldn't be too much further after this. Yeah, they're probably going to make a left here. Yes, sure are. All right, guys. You're friggin' busted. Nope, 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 nope. Is that them? It looks like there's two people standing right there, though. Now, if they stop moving, we know we've made it. No. They're going. They're making a right? Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, okay. Almost effed it up. I didn't realize my lost gauge was going up. Like, I'm staring dead at these two. Aha. Okay, this is a lot safer of a place to do your illicit business. And our lost gauge is going up? Okay. Gotcha. Earned 1 SP. Those doors lead to the Tyrell District Waterworks. Looks like that's where they're headed. We'll probably get into some scuffles in there. I guess I don't mind pitching in to help. Alright, let's corner them before they have a chance to escape. So who's their boss, though? Okay, it's some random. And that's how we managed to hit today's quota early. So, with that said, we've been working this area for several days now, right? Think maybe we could take the rest of the day off? So, I don't know if this is going to be the exact same person, but there was an old lady down in the Blacklight District we talked to last game, sitting in the little cafe area, but it's probably just a reuse of that particular model. Sure, Maggie-san. No, that is literally her. All right, then. Sure, why not? If you've already hit your quota for the day, might as well pack it in, right? No. She's definitely not going for that. But you know what'll happen if you do, don't you? What are you getting at? She's not playing no games with these guys. You're right. It's important I be more straightforward. You see, I have no shortage of others who are willing to put their nose to the grindstone for me. We're sorry, boss. We weren't thinking. We know you've run operations like this all over Zemuria. We've got nothing but respect for you. We'll keep working past our quota, so please, please don't replace us. Why do they care that much? Is the money that good? Is that so? Well, if you're so passionate about it, then I suppose you'd better get back out there then, shouldn't you? Yes, of course. We'd be glad to, ma'am. Whatever you say, ma'am. Sounds like textbook labor exploitation to me. Hey, you're those love-struck schmucks from earlier. You followed us? Yep, that's us. Love-struck schmucks. Now, bow before our romantic chemistry. Good old Nadia. Stop that. And would it kill you to deny the schmucks bit? We're here on business from a client that you defrauded out of his mirror. What? Are you a Spriggan or something? I'm surprised I don't recognize your faces. And I see you've brought an A-rank bracer along with you. Just what do you intend to do with us? It actually, I'm not sure why, but it's actually kind of surprising that somebody recognizes, like people have been recognizing her, but being like, nah, couldn't be. But not Magisa. A-rank bracer? I didn't realize it before, but that's Beauty's blade! Damn it! You were working with those two all along? Just so we're clear, I'm not actually here on bracer business. But I also can't very well ignore an infamous counterfeiter and her accomplices. I filmed your entire conversation earlier on my Zypha as evidence. Yeah, can't do that with an enigma. We have a client that just wants his mirror back. You know, mirror you swindled him out of. What do you think, Miss Sweet Old Lady? Mind handing it over without a fuss? Every single time. Oh, these two, they're about to get it. Don't get uppity with me, you little brats! Stalking other people and taking footage of them without their permission? You ought to be ashamed of yourselves! There it is, her world-famous tongue lashing. My ears can't take it. Sheesh, you're loud. And where do you get off lecturing us anyway, you old bat? I'm guessing that means you're not going to agree to our terms then. You think you've won just because you brought an A-rank bracer along with you? I've gotten through scenarios like these more times than you can count. You really think I wouldn't be prepared for this? So what, does she have some Dovenkaisers or something? It's been a while since we've seen those. Come out, boys. It's feeding time. She does. All right. She tamed those monsters? I don't think so. Their movement is erratic compared to wild monsters. I bet she just messed with their brains. So she's just the worst. She must have embedded a device or receiving command signals or something. Oh yeah, that's gotta be it. I remember seeing a report on a similar case in the documentation we got from Van. From what, I don't remember. I think it was about Zek. Oh, right! I do remember that. It happened in Basel. I think it was about how Zek's arms modified monsters so they could use shard skills. That's right. I bought these pups from Zek's arms. They're trial-enhanced military monsters. You two, get in there. Teach those damned brats a lesson they won't soon forget. Right, we're on it. All she's got is 2 kids on her side. We've got monsters. Even Beauty's blade is no match for these odds. That might be true, if these were actually just any kids. Hey, it's fine by me if they don't know what they're up against. Just means less effort on our end. At least this saves us time spent arguing. Let's take him down. Dang, dude, she's ruthless.
Just try and take me. Fine, let's play.
So, we don't have enough Assault Dober. Uh-oh, charging tackle. Nice. Well, that's less nice. So, 1 forte for our troubles.
We can win.
Dang, we're taking some real hits here.
Too slow.
A little bit of damage for you. Earth Guard. Uh-oh. I didn't know. If I'd known he was going to do that.
Taking point.
Do we have a delay quick? Everybody gets some. And so she can also Knights of Hysteria.
Boost gauge upgraded.
That it? Looks like that's it.
I will always strive to better myself.
Got that done. I didn't think they'd be so strong. I mean, it makes sense for her, but those kids are a nightmare too. Well, that wasn't much of a fight. So, now we just have to decide how to deal with. Come on, you nitwits! You remember what we planned, right? Are they gonna take some of those illicit drugs? Right. Got it. Oh, no, they're just gonna book it. Well, alright then. Dang, she's sprightly for an old woman. What the? You're kidding! They're really gonna make a run for it after all that? I have heard that she's known for her speedy getaways. I guess it's true after all. Not that I intend to let her go, of course. Let's move. Right. Like, there's no way they can outspeed us. Gotcha. How come it's just us that got caught? There's no way the boss could be that fast, right? Was it a calculated... Okay, was it a calculated ploy?
Now we'd better see to catching that woman. I suppose I don't mind taking care of some old biddy. Leave this one to me. So Magisa's got to go down in style. I guess those two idiots got themselves captured already. As long as they're still ground beneath my feet, there'll always be somewhere for me to run. Well, funny you say that. I'll just find another region to hide in until things blow over. I know you really like talking to yourself, lady, but you might want to watch where you're going. Yeah. What is this? Whoa. The jig is up. Turn yourself in. Damn. Fine. How about this? I'll give your client back all his mirror. In fact, I'll pay his fee for hiring you too. I'll even pay back every single mirror of the 30,000 we took from you two. As long as we let her go, which is going to be the chaos option. Good deal, huh? We can put this whole thing behind us. That doesn't sound too bad. But unfortunately for you, Spriggans aren't in the business of making friends with villains. Plus, I believe our client specifically asked us to give you what for. Swin, Nadia, and Elaine took Magisa and the two men they captured back above ground. Oh, how did we get chaotic out of this, though? Is that not going to be an option? Magisa was forced to pay back the 30,000 mirrors Swin had paid earlier. They then called up their client to help decide how best to deal with the captive counterfeiters. So I guess they've got their own separate funds from the stuff that we've used in the course of us being Spriggans. You guys are really something. I can't believe you even caught the ringleader. Sounds like she's pretty famous for this sort of thing. Should we turn her over to the police? You fool! Hand us over to the police and you'll be found guilty too! That's why I offered to return your mirror in exchange for letting us go. What crime is he guilty of? Falling for a scam? If that's too hard for you to swallow, then you can forget about ever getting a single mirror back from me. What an attitude! You don't feel even the slightest bit regretful, do you? Refunding his mirror wouldn't be enough to absolve you of your crimes anyhow. I refuse to overlook what you've done. Well, the original request did ask us to rake the culprits over the coals. But given that our client's here at the moment, we should probably let him decide how to deal with them. How to deal with them, huh? Any suggestions? The guild could always turn them over to the police for you. We've been well aware of this woman's extensive criminal record for a while now. Getting her off the streets would be the most optimal solution. So, lawful. Plus, I'm fairly certain we could talk the police into bringing even more severe charges against her. You can do that? Actually, now that I get a good look at you, aren't you Elaine O'Clair? How's it feel to be famous, Blade Lady? The real issue is what comes after we turn them in. The guild is responsible for prioritizing the safety of civilians. It's our duty as bracers. Given that you are a victim of fraud, we should be able to push that angle to the police. Either way, we'll make sure they understand that you weren't at fault here, Ned, and that you needn't be interrogated. Right, I'm still kind of what crime would he even be guilty of? That being said, however, choosing to bring this to the police doesn't guarantee you'll get your money back. Especially considering none of the other victims have filed for damages. Exactly. But keep in mind that this option does mean they'll be punished to the full extent of the law. I see. Though, if you're not totally sold on taking them to the police, you do have another choice. Take them to the Trion Mall's security detail, which would be the gray option. Security detail? Now that you mention it, I do remember Valis having some security guards on their payroll. Wait, does that mean their security firm is affiliated with the Marduk company? That's right! Let's just say I've been doing a little research on them lately. You see, Marduk regularly collects new data on criminals so that they can use it to improve their systems. So, instead of turning them over to the police, the security team will probably just make use of them back at headquarters. Oh, like, I can't remember which one is
It's black hat or white hat hacking, one of those things. Basically, if you hack into the CIA, you're more likely to get a job than you are to get jail time. Funny how that works. That sort of thing. Make use of us? What does that mean? I've heard rumors, but I didn't think Marduk would go that far. If we do go down that route, their security firm will probably compensate us for their negligence. But if you do give them over to Marduk, they'll be back on the streets once they're done with them. There's a high risk that they'll reoffend. I don't think I can personally recommend that option. Hey, we shouldn't be trying to influence his decision! So those are my options. Guess I have a few things to think over. To be honest, I'd be satisfied with either option. I'm struggling with which one to pick. Mind telling me what you think? You're asking me? Well, I think each approach has their pros and cons. Who should we turn them over to? Yeah! If it were me, I think I'd rather hand them over to Marduk. Although it would mean putting profit over justice. I see. I've made up my mind then. I don't feel great about it, but I'll go with your opinion. Even if the 5,000 mira was pocket change next to the real thing, it was still a lot of money for me. I'd be in much better shape if I could get it back. Plus, he doesn't have to worry about getting swindled again. He's definitely never gonna fall for something like this. Well, he might. Yes, yes! Let the greed flow through you. Or it's more like, yes, yes, let the greed flow through you. I guess it's decided then. Nadia is so fun. Marduk, huh? I'm not too familiar with them. Anything's better than the cops, though. Thanks for going easy on us, kiddo. Ugh. You might change your tune once you see what they have in store for you. Yeah, Marduk's got all sorts of experimental tech. They might even use some of it to probe your brains. I'm sure whatever data they get out of you will be useful for a good, long time. You're joking! She's really not. We would have been better off with the cops. Now, don't go getting yourself all bent out of shape over it. She's all talk. I don't think Marduk would go that far. I mean, you don't know. They might. With the criminals in tow, the three headed to the Valis investment bank at Trion Mall. Using the video footage Elaine had taken on her Zypha, they explained the counterfeit T-phone situation. A security guard with the Marduk company listened to the entire account. Very well, I understand the situation. While we are primarily with the bank security, we cannot let crimes committed in the mall go unpunished. And you are correct about the Marduk company currently gathering data on criminal activity. Please accept this 5,000 mira to compensate you for your losses. In fact, allow us to pay you an additional 2,000 mira for your cooperation. Hey! Never say Marduk never did anything for us! Wow! That much? Thank you! Who knew getting scammed was so lucrative? Now, if you don't mind, we'll handle them from here. I'll make sure they're processed accordingly. What do you mean processed? What's gonna happen to us? Hey, treat your elders with respect, young man. Touch me and you'll get what's coming to ya. Well, the group watched on as Magisa and her accomplices were hauled off. Having left the trio in Marduk's capable hands, the case finally came to a close. I'm glad that's over. Thank you all so much. I never would have thought to turn them into Marduk's security team. I'm just glad it all went exactly like Nadia thought it would. Even I was impressed at your ability to think up something so unconventional. Aw, I wasn't expecting to get a compliment from Blade Lady. Just be careful not to get swindled next time. You kinda came across as an easy mark. Right, guess I'll try to be more careful. After seeing that off, Swin, Nadia, and Elaine decided to get back to investigating the orbital network interference.
I hope I was of assistance.
You were. You very much were, Blade Lady. Gray and chaos, yes. We're gonna get real chaotic. Oh, we're also effed up. But let's go ahead. We're going to continue on, and I'm probably going to do the next floor of the Marian Garten. But that's all going to be next time, though. So definitely join me then for more The Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak 2. Bye for now, guys.
Never